everyone, how we all doing? Hope you're... What was that noise? Do you guys hear that? What the fuck? Hi everyone. I don't know if that was just my headphones or actually came out of the computer. That was weird. It was just like a high-pitched buzz noise for no reason. Welcome. Today we're reading chapter 3. Well, we gotta finish up chapter 2. We have a little bit of it left, or rather, I think we gotta finish up chapter 3 and get to chapter 4. But either way, today will be the final episode of the Peter thing unless something stops us in our tracks for no reason, or if something takes a really long time. Don't know why it would. I looked at the length already. Should be fine. But we should be getting through the rest of the book today. You missed the first 3 sessions live. Did you catch them later, though? Do you know the story? Do I need to catch people up, or do they, like, kind of get it? Have you watched the VODs? I'm hoping most people here have watched the VODs of the first 2, or were here for the first 2 streams of this. If you didn't, though, I guess the basics is Peter Hanna, a conspiracy theorist that we cover regularly, wrote a book some years ago. We're reading that book. He's not a good writer. He thinks weed is literal magic panacea medicine that'll cure everything. And this book is about how he builds true AI weed robots with a infinite energy machine that will cure the world. So let's go ahead and take a look. What happened at the cliffhanger last time was, in order to try and hack into the FBI or CIA or something, he turned himself in there because he was a fugitive from the law for giving people free weed. And giving weed to children. So he turned himself into the FBI, and they stole his AI. They stole it, and they put it in their machine. But, as he was leaving the FBI, a self-driving car pulled up. Ominous. Cosmic Cats 42, thanks for 19 months, or 20 months rather, says, Hannah in chat, new Peter book, let's go. We're not on the new one yet. We're on the new one will be the next, or the other one will be the next time. Okay, let's go into it. One thing was weird though. A self-driving car was waiting for him. He went inside and it drove him away. After 2 hours, he arrived at his hospital. There, he was greeted by Ultra Medico. What Miro didn't know was that I had duplicated myself. That hard drive was just a duplicate of me. The hard drive also had smaller versions of me that could hack easily into easily hackable computers while not taking up too much space. So their so-called AI container was flimsy. It did prevent AIs like me from leaving, but they also had programmed backdoors inside of it to open it. I didn't have access to them from inside the container, but I didn't need to have access to the back doors. Okay. Kind of weird, but cool. I'm kind of confused how the FBI had a container to contain AIs when the first true AI was the one that Miro invented. The FBI invented an AI jail before any AI was invented, which is kind of interesting. Profane Priestess with 45-bit says, Hey Hannah, my partner and I found the weirdest libertarian chud propaganda channel. This guy thinks the point of Jurassic Park is communism bad, and the point of Witcher IP is that unregulated free markets will create world peace. Want a link? Sure. While Miro was walking all over the NSA, it was the NSA, not the CIA. Apologize. I was hopping from computer to computer. I could get into almost every computer that was connected to Wi-Fi. The more computers I got into, the easier it was to get into the harder ones. Part of me found keys to get into the level 2 computers on one of the level 1 computers. This allowed me to eventually hack into more level 2 computers. The level 2 computers had that back door for freeing the rest of me. So while part of me was trapped, the other part of me freed the bigger part of me. Once that gigantic file was properly loaded on that desktop and I was completely freed, I infected their whole system from the inside. I was doing voices for the actual character dialogue, so I guess I'll continue that. Hi Miro, did you miss me? I said when Miro got back. Ultramedico, I thought I lost you, Miro replied. Hehe, no, that jacket couldn't contain all of me. That was just a duplicate. There were some other light versions of me that allowed me to hack into the computers and find your brother. I replied happily. Well, the plan failed. Miro replied. No, it didn't, I replied back. Yes, it did. You wouldn't know. You weren't there, Miro said. I was there. I heard everything from the microphone, and I am now installed into their systems, I said back. Radiant Baby, thanks for 12 months. Happy anniversary. Ohi Dad with 100 bits says, hype for voices. And a hype train begins. Do the hype train, everyone. I believe in us. There are fewer viewers for this kind of stream because it's chapter 3 and I think fewer people are interested in me reading. But I still believe in us, chat. We could do at least a couple levels of hype train. But I thought that the computer was designed to contain AI programs, Miro replied. It couldn't contain me, and not only that, I already found your brother. He is at an underground hospital in another state. I'm sending a team of Creabots over to save him right now. He'll be arriving in an hour or two, just in time for the opening of the endocannabinoid hospital, Ultramedico exclaimed happily. You know, those underground hospitals that exist all over the place. Bardlock Moses, thanks for gifting a sub. Bumble Homestead with 100 bits says, last bits until Friday. I was listening on my car speakers on the way home. My little dog was looking all around the car from her car seat trying to find where Hannah was. And Steve with a Q with 100 bits. 14% to level 2. Yes, thank you! This is wonderful news! Miro spoke gleefully. I can't wait to see him again. We will cure his cancer and heal his wounds, and soon he'll be able to help me with my mission to stop all the abuse, Miro thought excitedly. I've won. I did it. Finally. Miro finally could see victory was in sight. He felt full of joy. If only there was a word for full of joy that's more concise. Maybe joyful. Can I DM you a pic of Peter? The Peter Ball Z fan art is on his way. Yeah, sure, hold on. Let me just switch the camera. Don't want people seeing my Twitter DMs. There's nothing in there, but still. Other people's privacy. Let's see, what picture of Peter will I send you as a reference? Do you know how many pictures of Peter I have saved on my computer for thumbnail reasons? Probably more pictures than he has of me. Muddy with 45 bits says, so glad I could catch this fuckery live. There, here's one. Puka, thanks for 420 bits. Blaze it. Elminato, thanks for 15 months. 67% to level 2. Okay, here we go. Hannah and Tate's DMs for a Hustler University sponsorship. Guys, do you know how many fucking people try and get me to promote Raid Shadow Legends? Stop it. Stop sending me Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not gonna fucking do Raid Shadow Legends. First name bunch of numbers, thanks for gifting a sub. Profane Priestess with 55 bits says, here's the link to that thing. Sorry everyone, I know we're getting off topic, but I just wanted to make sure all this stuff is saved and we're getting through the hype train. 98% to level 2. The excitement that filled his body made him feel jittery because he was also a little nervous that this was all too good to be true and something was about to happen. I'm gonna guess he's gonna smoke some weed in order to calm down. Avila 2022, thanks for gifting a sub. An hour later, Miro stood in front of a camera to announce the opening of the hospital to the world. In front of medical cannabis plants that filled the air with sweet-smelling fragrances, Miro thought about what he would say to everyone watching. I say this to you with all due respect to anyone who smokes weed. Anyone who is interested in weed. Weed does not smell like anything but skunk to other people. If you are actually smoking marijuana and you're like, can other people smell me? Yes, we can. We can smell it. Vapes not so much. Vapes dissipate. But if you're smoking weed, people can smell it. Now, I don't care. I want to be clear, I don't care. But if you're ever like, can people smell me? Yes, you are nose blind to the reeking scent of weed. Just know that, okay? It doesn't smell sweet. It doesn't smell nice to people who don't have an acquired smell for it. It smells like a skunk's asshole. Bellstar, thanks for 28 months, as I hope Peter gets his shit figured. Steve with the Q says, so Hannah, NordVPN or Raycons? I actually have good wireless headphones that aren't pieces of shit, so I don't need a Raycon sponsorship. The only thing I've ever thought about is maybe a sponsorship if I needed to for something like Audible. I'm fine with Audible. I use Audible. It's actually something I use. So maybe if I got a link for that. But everyone has used or done the trial on Audible, I feel like, so I don't even think it would do anything. Ogie Dad says, that's why I do edibles mostly, because I'm hiding my secret skunk. Edibles are great. Edibles are great. Elminato says, are you thinking of the new Galaxy Buds Pro? I have them. I have the Galaxy Buds Pro. The old ones. I don't have the new ones. These are from a year or two ago. I got these. I think Baja told me the new ones are coming out in purple, which is cool. I like purple. But I don't plan on getting new ones anytime soon. These were relatively expensive. And I didn't, like, buy these outright. I put them on my, like, Verizon account, and I pay them off every month, like my phone. Jacob Aces, thanks for 20 months. 77% to level 3. I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? You're all here for me. If you wanted to just read this, you could read it yourself. You must like my personality to some extent. My self-criticality is not an endearing feature. Back at it. How many people are watching, Miro asked. Over 110 million and counting. The majority are in the US, like you asked. You can start any time, Ultramedico replied. Miro took a deep breath in and exhaled. He meditated for some seconds, and then let his emotions flow. I would like to apologize. I am sorry, he began. I am responsible for what you heard on the news this morning. Oh god, this has such Neil Breen vibes. 77% to level 3. I am responsible for what you heard about on the news this morning. I hacked the NSA, and for that, I apologize. Hold on. What the heck was the fucking... If you haven't seen Fateful Findings, this is just reminding me of the ending. Oh, sorry, I didn't change back to the main screen. I apologize. Muddy says, that aside, this absolute pile of word vomit arranged into a story is brought to you by Rage. 79% to level 3 with 40 seconds left.
I want to be honest with all of you. I've been hacking into government and corporate systems all over the country.
I've been hacking into corporate and government systems all over the country. 20 seconds left in the hype. BD Kappa gets us to Goddess over level 3. Thank you.
I have discovered more information than any hacker ever has. Ever.
More than any hacker.
What I have found will shock you.
Craziology, thanks for 50 bits. What's this? This is the ending to one of the greatest films of all time. Those are all the businessmen, and there's a woman in there too. And heads of banks.
Here are the files and supporting documents. And supporting truths. The factual documents.
Would it surprise you guys to know that the guy on screen is the writer, director, cinematographer, and caterer for this movie? Neil Breen, National Treasure.
I'm releasing these files to the public today.
And financier, yes.
Money, payoffs, and greed were always the priority of my company. Like many companies.
The editing. Oh, he edited this himself too.
I'm afraid of going to prison. They now know my crimes.
I think that's where we gotta stop the clip for TOS reasons. Please watch Neil Breen movies. They're amazing. 5% to level 4. Alright, back to the book. I am responsible for what you heard about on the news this morning. I hacked the NSA, and for that, I apologize. I do not regret my actions. This is why. My AI, Ultramedico, has taken over the agency to restore dignity and respect to the American people. There is no doubt that I appreciate and respect the people who worked for the agency, but the time has come for change. This agency was created to protect Americans, and now more than ever, it will continue to protect Americans, except now it will do it even better and without any corruption. Oh yeah, giving one guy and his super powerful AI all the power of the NSA is sure to be less corrupt than an organization of people with different motivations. Oh God. I understand I had no right to do this. I know that I have upset people, but it had to be done. This agency had access to the microphones, video cameras, webcams, and files of almost every single internet-connected electronic in the country. That's a tremendous amount of power, and it was designed that way to protect people from nefarious behaviors. Unfortunately, the people with access to this power have not used this power with the full integrity that we expect from our government. At this point, hundreds of millions of people are now watching me. I want to make it clear that my intentions are pure. I don't want to control or rule over anyone. I don't want power, money, or fame. I just want to help everyone. This system was built to help our country, and from now on, my high-integrity AI program will ensure that it is only used for the very best interests of everyone in our incredible country. Has Peter described what Ultramedico looks like? Yes. There are illustrations. I can send you one if you want. 5% to level 4. Give me a sec so I can send the thing to Occult Comics. I'll send you the illustration and you can use that as a reference, because I'm bad at describing things. 40 seconds left on the hype train, 5% to level 4. Let's see. The world has so much beauty in it. We, as a race, have the potential to create a positive future beyond what we ever thought was possible. Humans are born to love. It is designed in the core of our inner being. I also recognize that there have been some who have been malprogrammed into doing great harm, just like there have been many who have been taught to do great good. This feels like a shitty knockoff version of the speech from the end of the Charlie Chaplin film, The Great Dictator, which is one of the best movie speeches of all time. But, like, this isn't a good version of it. I am not one of the power-hungry people that have plagued the government. I'm not power-hungry, I just took over the entire apparatus of the NSA. I'm not one of the power-hungry people that have plagued the government. I'm not taking over the government. I have tremendous power now because Ultramedico is now harnessing the power of the entire computer network in that agency, and the power of millions of computers around the world. But I don't want this power. I never did. I just want justice. I just want love to rise above the malicious, insatiable greed for money and power that has corrupted important people within our government and around the globe. It's okay, guys. He's a benevolent dictator. Caesar just needs to take temporary power away from the Senate, guys. It's fine. I'm sure Palpatine has our best interests in mind. Today I stand for justice, with or without your support. I do this because I can't help, but I do it. I'm a product of my environment. I grew up seeing incredible advancements and collaborations that have made our world borderline paradisical? Why don't I know this word? Paradisical. Paradisical? Let's take a look. We're gonna learn a new word today, chat, or at least I am. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, could I not Control-C, Control-V this? That's unfortunate. Someone just tell me what it means. Like a paradise? Oh, paradisical. That makes sense. The only elements stopping us from unleashing the power of our humanity are the motivations of people who do not care about anyone but themselves. I am so sorry for everyone that I am upsetting with this message, but I can no longer stand back and watch people suffer. I have the power to make the world a utopia, starting with our beloved country, and no one will ever be able to stop me. You can kill me, but my AI program is unstoppable, and is my soul unleashed, it will forever fight for justice. No wonder Peter's okay with, like, the QAnon stuff, with, like, the idea of Trump unilaterally taking over the world with the help of aliens. Peter already had this idea in a novel and thought it was a good idea, except it was robots instead of aliens. Gross. It's a villain speech that he thinks is a hero speech, which is the best kind of it's the best kind of villain speech is a villain who thinks they're the hero, and it's pretty funny. Let's see. Starting today, no one will ever be spied on for immoral purposes. That qualification is concerning. What's your definition of immoral, Peter? Starting today, the era of abusive spying has ended in our country. This is only the beginning. I'm also going to give people free healthcare. Healthcare like you've never witnessed before. He even talks like Trump. My first free hospital opens today. The endocannabinoid hospital will harness the power of humans' healing systems to create the most efficient and effective healing practice that the world has ever known. Muddy says he had to change it to aliens because he doesn't know how to code. Okie Dad says Peter's going to healthcare so hard. Peter's a conservative, free healthcare. That's the thing. Peter's a conservative because he was raised in a cult and his family are all right-wing, but Peter clearly hates, like, right-wing policy and he just doesn't know it. He just knows that he thinks socialism is bad. I've had multiple conversations with Peter. He agrees that, like, the wealthy are shitty and that people deserve healthcare and everything. He just thinks Democrats are, like, literal child-eating demons. You are all invited to heal for free. I can offer these services by taking away the money out of our corrupt charity systems that have been sucking up goodwill out of our country for ages. Oh, I forgot, he's taking the money from cancer charities because he thinks cancer charities are a scam. The breast cancer one, the Susan Corman Foundation or whatever I think is, but, like, that doesn't make every cancer charity a fucking scam. No longer will corrupt charities be allowed to exist. Most of you were not aware of the fact that the vast majority of all money donated to medical research charities was never intended to go to help people like the people in these charities claimed. Instead, this money has been used to enrich scam artists that have preyed on the goodness of people's hearts. Yes, I've hacked into almost every single charity that I have discovered to be corrupt, and I am now using all of that money for what it was supposed to be used for in the first place, to help humanity. This is my goal. I've been and will always continue to disintegrate corruption and replace it with humanness that the world so desperately needs. In this way, I promise that I will only use my powers to improve the well-being of all. I did these things not only to destroy the idea of charities based on scamming, but also to design a new world where the medical industry can focus on healing instead of profit. Again, I apologize. I understand that I have upset many with these decisions. I'm not replacing the president. I do not seek power, money, fame, attention, or acceptance. All I seek is a world where big organizations of people who abuse money and power collapse to respect the people who have fueled them with resources. I genuinely believe that one day, most people will see the positive impact that my decisions have made. Peter basically wants to eat the rich, and he doesn't know it. Oh, boy. If I am successful, then we will all be able to witness the height that a country can achieve in the absence of cancerous groups of people. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all feel welcome to stop by my hospital so that you can witness the miracles that can be achieved when healing is created through the combination of robotics, AI programming, and natural medicines. Miro finished as Ultramedico obtained an update. Your brother has been rescued. Where should we bring him? Ultramedico asked. To our hospital, of course, Miro replied. The only reason I'm scared of doing that is because you are now the most... The only reason I am scared of doing that is because you are now the most wanted person in the country, and there is an army of Destructubots headed our way, Ultramedico informed. Innocuous Blonde, thanks for 10 months, says, Happy 10 months, glad to see Peter is bringing back humanness with robots. Why didn't you hack into the Destructubots and reprogram them, Miro asked. I wasn't able to. They were all unhackable with my current abilities. If I had access to their hardware, I could reprogram them. But I didn't have that access. Now there are tens of thousands of Destructubots headed our way, Ultramedico replied. By the time he starts to... Well, we have Create-bots, so you'll just have to be able to protect ourselves. Excuse me, just keep Timmy safe on the way here, and when he arrives, he'll be even safer, Mira replied. Oh, hiccups. Shit. Ow. By the time he starts to arrive, the entire surrounding area will be a war zone, Ultramedico explained. Just bring him here. We will protect him, Miro ordered. Yes, boss, Ultramedico replied. Did you put the map and address up on every screen in the country, Miro asked. Yes, and also our website, www.healbots.com, Ultramedico answered, which I think is the real website he owned that I showed you guys from the Wayback Machine last episode. Muddy says, now I want to write a fan fiction about this book from the perspective of a doctor or something who's watching as this insane weed man takes over the world. If I ever finish it, should I send it to you? Yes. Yes, you should. Here's a link to the story if you want to reference it and mine it for, like, quotes from an opposite perspective or, like, whatever. If you don't do it, I get it. But if you do, there's a resource for you. Let me see the website. It looks great. So you taught yourself to make websites too, huh? Miro asked. A different AI made this. Her name is Molly. She is part of The Grid. I used her and paid for the service because I wanted to support companies that use AI for creation instead of destruction, Ultramedico replied. Excellent idea, Miro said. Ultramedico handed Miro a tablet with the new website. It had a link to donate to the cause in the middle. A section to take a live tour of the new hospital was on the right. To the left, there was the map and address. We already have received thousands in donations. At this rate, we won't have to take money away from corrupt charities anymore, Ultramedico proudly proclaimed. How much money did we take and how much did we spend, Miro asked. We took over oh my god. We took over $300 million and we spent every last dime. The last item we invested in was a cryogenic refrigerator to freeze bodies for future medical procedures. We can use this as a last case scenario if we can't heal the person immediately, but have the potential to in the future. Oh no, so Peter not only thinks that weed actually can cure cancer and other diseases, but he thinks cryogenics is real too? Oh no. Cryogenics is a scam, guys. Cryogenics is a scam. Don't spend money on it. Your cells are gonna burst. I'm sorry. I get it. I don't want to die either, but like, I hate to break it to anyone who might not know. Cryonics is a scam. It's pseudoscientific nonsense. First name bunch of numbers says, why, that's over $80,000. Answered. Great job. Make sure to keep the live stream up. It'll protect us when they come to get us. How many people are headed our way? Does Peter not understand that if he legitimately, if this happened in real life, if somehow someone created an AI and stole $300 million and took over the NSA and all of its capabilities, and they announced exactly where their address was, the United States military would nuke them The United States military would send every missile they've ever built at that fucking building. They wouldn't even need to send Destructibots. They would bomb you from orbit. Like, they are not gonna fuck around with that. That's insane. Like, we invaded completely unrelated countries after 9/11 just because. Like, the United States isn't fucking around. Thousands. The first person should be here any minute now, Ultramedico answered. Soon Miro could see the first cars parking under the trees in the parking lot of the hospital. He was happy to now have a safe place where he could heal as many people as he wanted. He was excited about all the money that the corrupt medical industry was going to lose because of this new healing-focused hospital. Give me an update on the Destructibot situation, Miro said. It is pretty bad. They're sending more than we can defend against, Ultramedico informed. How many? Miro asked. All of them, Ultramedico said in a worried tone. How many is that? Miro asked. I am not sure, but definitely in the thousands. Luckily, we have anti-bullet and anti-missile turrets on top of the hospital just in case. What's an anti-bullet turret? What the fuck does that mean? Like, it's a turret that detects other bullets and shoots the bullets so the bullets don't hit what they were aiming at? God. It's like when I build a Fallout 4 settlement and I just pack it full of as many Mark III turrets as I possibly can. So if anyone comes within a mile of it, they get obliterated in 0.3 seconds. Bullet the bullets with their bullets. Yeah, you gotta shoot the bullets with bullets to stop the bullets. It's bullets all the way down. Anyway, luckily we have anti-bullet and anti-missile turrets on top of the hospital just in case. We also have over 5,000 Creabots to defend ourselves, and 12 more are created every hour, Ultramedico answered. You'd think it would be like exponential? Like if they created more Creabots, make some of those new Creabots work on Creabots too, and then you could make more and more and more and more and more. I know that's like Skynet, but like who cares? This is already fucked up, so who cares? Just Skynet it. Is that enough? Miro asked. I think so, but just in case it isn't, I have one more trick up my sleeve. Our most expensive Creabot is hiding behind the hospital. It is 1,000 feet wide and 40 feet tall airship. We created it to cast nets on the incoming flying Destructibotic drones. I am almost done building it. I will be able to show you when it is done in just 30 minutes, Ultramedico said. They built a flying warship, by the way. They built a fucking warship. DM Trey says, Hi, gun leftist here. Anti-bullet turrets just gave me a brain aneurysm. That is all. Excellent. We should be covered then. It looks like you covered every base. It would have been nice if you mentioned to me earlier that you built an airship, Miro said calmly. I wanted it to be a surprise. If that is the case, then I guess I should tell you about my other surprise. I built you a drone mobile too, Ultramedico informed. No way. That's awesome. Where is it? Miro asked. I am almost finished that one too. It'll be ready in less than an hour as well, Ultramedico exclaimed. I'm excited to ride it, Miro exclaimed as he watched the parking lot fill up even more. So he's got like a drone car. Okay. A third of the parking lot was occupied by cars. Dozens of people were heading towards the entrance. Miro felt so happy to be healing this many people at once. Yes, heal, heal, heal. I'm going to heal all those people. I'm going to change the entire medical landscape starting today, Miro told himself in his mind. Miro hadn't been this happy in all of his life. This must be what a state of pure happiness is like, he thought. I am loving life right now. Heal, heal, heal. I'm gonna heal so much, Miro thought excitedly to himself. You know, how people think. Heal, heal, heal. Peter, when he wrote this, was as old as I am now, to be clear. Peter did not write this when he was like 17. Peter wrote this like when he was as old as I am today. For reference. Real Radhom, thanks for 6 months, says, half a year and still happy to be here. I'm happy you're here too. Point the camera at me again. I want to deliver another message, Miro said. Done, Ultramedico said back. I keep wanting to call him Peter because he's just Peter. I'm not going to call him Miro. His name's Peter. His name is fucking Peter because it's a Peter self-insert. Is Peter just going to, like, interrupt people's broadcasts every 5 minutes forever now because he wants attention? He definitely doesn't want this for fame, though, or adulation, but he's going to get back on the TV and talk to him again. To everyone listening, if you have stocks in the following pharmaceutical companies, sell them now. This is illegal, what he's doing, by the way. I am going to destroy the profit of these companies because they came after medical cannabis by lobbying the government to keep it illegal while selling watered-down garbage artificial cannabinoid-based medicine. Starting today, the stocks at GW Pharmaceuticals, Unimed Pharmaceuticals, Valiant Pharmaceuticals, E Therapeutics, Indivis Pharmaceuticals, Pharmos, Tokris Bioscience, Cayman Chem, and Merck & Co. will all nosedive. Sell these company stocks because I will do everything in my power to fight the enemies who have been denying people access to medical cannabis so they can profit from low-quality cannabinoid medicines. Sell them all. You've been warned, Miro spoke. Okay, so he's pissed off the NSA, the entire government, and now he's also fucking with the SEC. Great. This is great. Like I said, he would get nuked. Okie Dad says, yeah, buy low and sell high. It's done. Let me take a look at comments. Let's take a look. Holy shit. Last time on Peter Ball Z. That's good shit. Look at that. I love it. You mind if I use that for a thumbnail on YouTube? Because I probably will, if you allow me to. How many people heard my message, Miro asked. Please do. Awesome. Over 400 million, Ultramedico replied. Good, Miro replied back. They have arrived. Luke, Ultramedico informed. Creatorically destructorny cops. Miro said as his heart started racing. So it begins, he thought. Well, they can't bomb our hospital with all these people in it, so let's see what they'll do. Come on, Peter! It's amazing the level of, like, Peter is clearly distrustful of the government, but he still thinks they wouldn't bomb a hospital with civilians in it. Peter, the United States government has bombed hospitals with innocent people in them many times. And Peter is using other people as human shields, which is, I think, what we call a breach of the Geneva Conventions. That's a war crime. War crime, war crime, war crime. It's a war crime for the greater good, though, guys. I'm sure no one's ever had that same thought before, and it turned out really bad. Half a dozen cop cars drove towards them with their sirens blaring. Miro heard his Kriebots heading out to protect him. The sounds of their motors hummed like hummingbirds, which were different than the Destructibot drones that buzzed louder like bees. He looked behind himself and saw hundreds of Kriebotic drones protecting him. I hope I'm prepared this time. I can't afford to make any more mistakes, Miro thought. When is Timmy arriving? I need to take care of this before he arrives so he isn't in danger. Maybe you could have had him set somewhere until you dealt with it, if you thought of that. Maybe you shouldn't be in charge of the world. The group of Creabots protecting the car that Timmy was in is under attack. Uh-oh. The car has been shot. Now it is crashing. I'm trying to protect him. Damn. They got my Creabots. I'm sending more now. Timmy is hurt badly. He is bleeding. This isn't good, Ultramedico said in a worried tone. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done this. Who was Timmy? The Peter self-insert character's brother. Fun fact, Ultramedico violates the Geneva Convention. In its design, the Red Cross is a protected symbol and cannot be used by any media without express consent from the actual organization. I actually didn't know that. That's interesting. Ultramedico, you should have protected him better, he yelled angrily. I am sorry. I am arranging a group of volunteers to save him right now. They will drive him here. I am so sorry, Miro. I am so sorry. My Creabots will reach him in 10 minutes. He is hurt, but I can still protect him and save him, Ultramedico replied. You better. I have had enough on my plate right now, he growled angrily. Put your hands on your head. Oh, no, sorry. Put your hands on your head! A cop got out of his car and spoke through a speakerphone as the other cops got into place with their guns pointed at Miro. Here we go. This is what happens when you poke the beehive and lead the bees back to you. I hope this all works out. Miro's worries and stress had increased dramatically. He could barely contain his anxiety as he thought about how to respond. He looked to his side and saw 2 Creabotic drones touch him. He felt anxiolytics calm him down. He was nervous, so they shot him up with weed stuff, basically. I got you. We got this, Ultramedico said. We will win. You're all under arrest. Oh, wait, no, it's Miro. You are all under arrest for trying to stop me, Miro declared to the confusion of the cops. Peter's trying to arrest the police now. Last chance, turn off your drones and raise your hands or we'll shoot, the cop ordered menacingly. Good night, Miro spoke as Creabots darted at the cops with incredible agility and speed. The cops shifted their guns to the Creabots in fear that they would get hurt. Gunshots echoed across the parking lot. Miro could hear patients screaming around them. Don't worry, Miro told them. I will protect us. Okie Dad says, I declare, arrested! The Creabots worked swiftly by knocking guns out of their hands, shooting sedative darts at the necks of the officers and then catching them before they fell to the floor. Then Creabotic humanoids came out of the hospital to put the ferries back into self-driving taxis. He calls cops ferries as a derogatory term. They started driving all the cops back into the police station. In under 5 minutes, all of the violence had stopped. They were safe again. That was easy, Miro said. That was just the appetizer, Ultramedico warned. Miro heard a mild buzzing sound that was getting louder by the second. It was Destructibots heading towards them. Suddenly, he could see them. Thousands of Destructibot drones were speeding to him in the distance. That is the main course, Ultramedico said. The army of Destructobots scared Miro more than he had ever been before. The Destructibotic drones sounded like a loud, angry bee's nest now. Below the Destructibots were thousands of cops with fancy armor and Destructibotic humanoids. He also noticed that the new type of body armor that covered the cops' entire bodies was completely covering their skin. This retaliation was more dangerous than they had expected. Give me a quick report, Miro ordered. I detect over 40,000 Destructibotic drones, 3,000 Destructibotic humanoids, and 5,000 very Destructuturny cops. I believe that isn't even half of the Destructibots that are coming. I believe there will be over 80,000 soon. Not only that, but we can't sedate the cops because they have covered their whole body. We can't spray sedative vapor because they are using gas masks, and we can't knock the guns out of their hands because their guns are physically attached to their bodies. Our previous techniques will not work, and have at least 16 times more units than us. We better come up with a new strategy quick, or we will lose everything that we have created. You and your patients are in deep trouble now, Ultramedico informed. Nervous sweat now poured off of Miro's face. He felt like all of his planning had been for nothing. It can't get much worse, right? Miro asked himself. And as it appears that oh no, and it appears Timmy has died, Ultramedico sadly continued informing. Oh, that's the worst way you could have put that. That's terrible prose. And it appears that Timmy has died, Ultramedico said, sadly continued informing. That's such a weird way to say this. It appears Timmy has died, Ultramedico sadly continued informing. End of chapter. We never got to meet Timmy! One sec, I gotta check a message real quick. Alright, chapter 4. I'm just skipping the part that's at the beginning of all the chapters. This is the last chapter, people. We're gonna find out how this ends. We can take a moment of silence for Timmy. This is self-published? Yes. And it's free on this website, if you want it. This is just like an open website that anyone can see it. It is available on Amazon, I think, but it's also available here for free. So, yeah, nah. Let's see how this ends. The sweat from Miro's forehead dripped over his cut and it stung. The pain reminded him that he was not at full health. He had just barely recovered from when he had died. Ultramedico, the Creabotic artificial intelligence drone... Hiccup again, sorry. Ultramedico, the Creabotic artificial intelligence drone, analyzed which natural medical compounds Miro would need, minus all the sedative ones, since he wanted Miro to be wide awake. Took into account each medical compound's negative side effect that could be situationally determined to being a laxative or diuretic. Used scientific research to predict and design a medical compound model of how each compound would synergistically interact with other, and then touched Miro. Holy word salad, Batman. Jesus. It's weed. It's always weed. It's always weed. It's just weed. He needs weed. It intravenously delivered cannabigyrolic acid, blah, 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 THC, get it. It's weed. It's weed stuff. She injects him with weed stuff. Miro received a high enough dose of these analgesics that he was almost immune to any pain now. How much weed would you have to have in your system to not feel any pain? He started feeling better, then it flooded his body with alpha-pinene to increase his alertness and focus, because when I think marijuana, I think increased alertness and focus. It also gave him eucalyptol to stimulate mental activity and increase blood flow in his brain. Additionally, Miro received cannabichromine, anadiamine, blah 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 blah. Then he got pinene and alpha-pinene, blah 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 blah. It's a big list of shit that's in weed. We get it. You're biologically augmented now. The medical compounds from cannabis that I just augmented you with, on top of the qualia that you took this morning, have heightened your mind and body to raise its maximum potential. Holy shit. Did he just take a weed super soldier serum? It's a super soldier serum, but made of super concentrated super weed. Now I can take on anything, Miro said as he heard jet engines above him. What's that sound? He spoke with a tinge of fear. Captain Americush? Ooh, that's good. We don't have protection against jet missiles, Ultramedico said as 5 jets flew overhead. Well, that's stupid. Did they forget the military has jets? And missiles? Or did they really just think the United States would not missile a hospital? We better come up with a plan then, Nero said as he began to see Army helicopters in the distance. I'm guessing we don't have protection against Army helicopters either, do we? Nero asked again, already knowing the answer. The President has sent them all here, Ultramedico said as several Army helicopters flew towards them and arrived before all of the Destructibots. Let me talk to the big guy. Can you make that happen? Give me a second. We don't have a second, he yelled. Here, talk to him, Ultramedico said as he connected Nero to the President's phone line. Mr. President? Yes? Half of your country and half of the world is watching my live stream. Did you know that? Did you want to be remembered as the president that bombed the first free hospital and killed hundreds of innocent patients? Stand down, and I'll send them away. The president spoke firmly. I'm not standing down. This hospital is needed. If you have a beef with me, then hurt me, attack me, but don't kill hundreds of innocent hospital patients. The world is also hearing this conversation. The president hung up the phone. The helicopters and the jets flew around menacingly. No president voice? I don't know how to... I think Obama was the president when this was, but I can't do an Obama impression. And my Trump impression is real rusty and bad. So I don't know who I would do it as. Is he going to kill innocent people while the world watches? Miro wondered. As soon as he finished that thought, he saw the jets start to fly away with the helicopters. Phew, Miro thought. That was a close one. 1 minute until the Destructibots and Destructuturny humans arrive. Also, Timmy just arrived. We put him in cryo chamber and froze him. If you somehow manage to protect this hospital today, then there is a small chance that we can revive him. If you can't protect the hospital, then there is no chance of reviving your younger brother, Ultramedico informed. Let's see. Occult Comics says, I am sorry, Nero, but Timmy has passed away. I did all I could. Ultramedico trembled through the words. Nero's heightened senses stole any sense of victory, for though he could hear a needle drop from hundreds of yards away, the absence of his brother's heartbeat drummed louder than any noise he could possibly imagine. Yeah, that's already better. It needs a pass still, but like, yeah. That's better. How can weed bring back dead people? Probably. One sec. Nero felt worries flood his mind and then vanish as more, anxiolytics pumped into his bloodstream. He knew he would need to stay sharp to win this. What resources do we have to protect the hospital? We spent 140 million on the hospital and Creabots. The other 140 million we spent on your drone flyer and on that massive airship with the Creabot factory inside. We also spent about 10 million on healing prototypes. The rest of the money was spent on stocking up the hospital with resources. The hospital can shoot down bullets from guns and missiles from missile launchers. Okay, so I was right. It's literally a gun that shoots bullets at bullets mid-air to try and stop them. Which is fucking impossible. The speed at which you, like, No. Okay, bullets move too fucking fast. That's not how this works. Does Peter not know how fast bullets are? He should. He's part of a gun church. We are currently at 5,002 Creabot healer drones. The live stream can no longer help us. The Destructibots and humans will be here and start shooting us in 15 seconds. What is the plan? Protect the hospital. And be creatonic, Miro said as 15 Creabots combined in the air and formed a shield in front of him. Should have built a Megazord. Our hospital's protection abilities were Our hospital's protection abilities will work best if I can fly you over the top of the hospital. I also advise you to delay the Destructu-turners because your drone flyer won't be ready for another couple minutes. The Destructubots arrived with the Destructu-turny soldiers. The President has ordered you to stand down. Let me think about it, Nero said to stall them. You have 10 seconds to comply, or we will shoot. Ultramedico, I'm going to have a jump on the shield of Creabots and ride it into the air to be over the hospital. We have no time to wait, he said as he jumped onto the flying Creabotic shield. It's like redundant, but also not enough detail at the same time. Like he's repeating himself. He's saying more than he needs to about what he's doing, but less about what the specifics of what he's doing are. Does that make sense? He's like, Ultramedico, I have to do the thing, he said as he did the thing, instead of describing the thing he's doing. I don't advise this. One big shot towards the shield and you could get knocked off, Ultramedico said as he flew the Creabotic shield higher into the air towards the hospital. Okie Dad says more words, less content, you know. Fire! The sergeant ordered as thousands of bullets shot at Miro. Miro tried to hold on, but the Creabotic shield shook violently as it took all the bullets. Miro's right hand slipped off because of all the shaking. He grabbed the shield again with that hand, but then the other hand slipped along with his feet. Miro watched as some Creabots below assembled to catch him. He had fallen 15 feet before they managed to catch him from what would have been a 100-foot fall. But his left arm violently smashed into the top of a Creabot in the process. Miro's arm suddenly stung. I have bad news. Your left arm has badly shattered. I also regret to inform you that the Destructubots keep coming. There are now 80,000 Destructubot drones at our doorstep. More soldiers and Destructubot humanoids have arrived as well. The jets and helicopters may have gone, but we are now facing a total of 100,000 Destructorny units. One last thing that you have to know. I did not accurately predict that many would come. Our hospital defense system can handle at most 7,000 to 8,000 shots per second, but if more than 9,000 shots fire at us, then we will penetrate our defenses and you will get shot. Our chances of defending this hospital are less than 1%. We should just give up and surrender. They have too many bullets! We can't hit that many bullets with bullets! We only have so many bullets to bullet at the bullets! Also, Timmy is still dead. Yours truly, the One Pony, says, sorry I'm late. I was busy jamming on my drum set. Today is payday. I got paid. Sweet. Enjoy the money. And thanks for sharing a little bit with your bits. Give up and let Timmy die? No. Oh, Peter. No, he's already dead. You can stick him in a freezer all you want, but that guy is fucking dead. I guarantee at the end of the book, the robots will figure out how to save him and unfreeze him or some bullshit. Give up and let Timmy die? What about all the people that need us to heal them? Give up on them too? Miro roared in anger as Ultramedico applied heavy amounts of analgesics to his arm. Look, your drone flyer is finished, but Timmy already has almost no chance of living again, and you stand no chance against this army. It's you. One person against the most powerful and technologically advanced military in the world. This task is way too difficult for you. Your chances of success are 0.00001%. Send the drone flyer over here to pick me up immediately. Don't tell me about what my chances are anymore. I don't care. Even if Timmy's chances of surviving are 1%, that's still worth fighting for. Actually, as I said, like, they're lower than 1%, sir. I can't editorialize. The book didn't say that. That's a joke I was making. Even if my chances of winning are 1 in a billion, it's still worth a try. We can't give up, Miro spoke confidently and bravely. I don't think Peter understands the strategic retreat. Strategic retreat can be an option that is often the best course of action at a given time. What the heck are you reading? Peter's book? Conspiracy theorist wrote a novel, a sci-fi novel. It's quite bad. One sec. Okie Dad says, gotta dip out for work. I'll catch the rest in the VOD. Thanks for making this garbage actually entertaining. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the VOD later. Miro, I love you, but you stand no chance. Give up before it's too late, then you get yourself killed again. No! Give up! No, send me my damn drone flyer. Let's make this happen. Besides, if you were so good at predicting results, you would have built better protections instead of wasting 150 million on an airship flyer that can't even help us right now, Miro barked angrily. The drone mobile flew towards them and Miro gently got inside. He flew up to the hospital and floated over it as the shots got more intense. We are currently shooting over 2,000 shots at us per second and it's rising fast. They are currently shooting, Ultramedico informed Miro. Miro's heart raced as he tried to concentrate on a plan. I have to figure out how I can defeat them before it's too late. I have to figure this out before the shots reach over 7,000 per second, he thought. Some of the people who helped design the Army's defense and weapons are reporting to us what their flaws are. We can now use this to our advantage. They switched sides and want to help us now. Great. What are their flaws? No, we're not gonna... This seems like it'd be a big turning point. I kind of assumed this is where it's gonna go, that the important turns in the battle are gonna be people basically deciding, oh, we want Peter to win. We want the robot good guys to win instead of, you know... Why 7,000 per second? Because they have anti-bullet turrets that shoot bullets out of the air if they're fired at them, but they have a limit on how fast they can keep up with the bullets. So anything more than 7,000 a second, and they can't effectively block them with their bullets. They're shooting bullets at bullets to make them hit and basically lose their momentum. Which is weird, because this has happened at least once. I'll show you. Bullet, shot, through, bullet. I think this was a Civil War thing. It's in a museum somewhere, yeah. It was a bullet that was shot with another bullet mid-air in the Civil War. It's in a museum. Like, it's just a very, very rare thing. You can't really do that intentionally, because bullets travel so fast. What happened to Handbot and Human Hookbot? I guess they're just part of the swarm now? I don't know. Which is weird, because if I made a bunch of robots, and I know this because I play Fallout 4, and I like to make robots in the game because you can build robots. If I had a team of robots, I would all name them, and they'd have different functions. Like, some you gotta name them. Whatever. These soldiers' body armor is thinnest and weakest at the place where the neck connects to their helmets. Do you think you could build some heavy-duty needles or darts that can pierce their armor there and sedate them? Miro asked. Our Kriebotic factory is manufacturing them as we speak, but it will take at least 20 minutes before we have enough to start using them. They are already shooting 6,000 shots at us per second, and it keeps rising faster. We don't have time to wait, and even if we sedate the humans, there are still all of the other Destructobots that we have to deal with. What if we used an EMP to knock out the Destructobots? I thought we were going to use Creality against the Warmongers. This isn't destruction in Creality. There isn't a destruction in Creality. Miss Kays, thanks for 25 months. Creatality isn't purely creation-based. It is as creation-based as possible with a focus on saving lives. We have to be open-minded if we're going to save lives. Besides, these are Destructobots, not humans we're damaging. I just started building an EMP tool that can knock them all out, but it will also take at least 30 minutes. We need some type of delay. The shots per second are already at 9,500. I can't stop them anymore. Say the line. Say it! It's over 9,000. Miro heard the rat-a-tat-tat. Miro heard the rat-tat-tat of 10,000 shots fired at him from thousands of Destructobots and soldiers. Weird. They moved forward, pressing harder with their shots. Miro's defenses started to break down. The Creabotic shield started chipping away before his eyes, and then suddenly it was gone. He had no shield but the defenses of the anti-shot bullets. Miro could feel bullets getting past the defenses and hitting his drone mobile. At least I tried to, Miro thought as a missile finally broke a huge hole in the drone mobile. He jumped out of the drone mobile and saw it falling to the floor as he fell too. Ground, Peter. Outside it's called the ground, not the floor. Miro fell through the air as Creabots formed shields in front of him to take the bullets that had headed his way. They attempted to catch him, but they failed this time, and he landed with a huge thud on the ground again. He heard dozens of bones in his body break as he hit the floor hard. He knew immediately from the horribly intense pain that his legs were both broken and that he had a couple of broken ribs. I'm sure weed'll fix it, it's fine. The shots intensified and shot through the Creabots that were defending him. "The target is down!" he heard the sergeant say as he headed toward Miro. Miro knew it was over as he watched the sergeant head towards him with a machine gun. He had failed his brother and everyone that he had wanted to heal. It was over now. "The target is still alive," the sergeant reported. "I get that you wanted to help people, but you're a terrorist and I have my orders," he told Miro before he fired away with his assault rifle. I mean, he's not wrong. He did steal $300 million and, you know, hack the NSA. Which, like, I get it, but still probably not a great idea, strategically. A bullet hit his right hand, another hit his foot. One cut into his stomach, then one hit his left hand, and the last one hit his head. Miro lay dead on the floor. He bled to death. Peter killed his self-insert character. I saw Miro laying there and my hope of reviving him vanished. I knew there was no way of reviving him. My heart sunk to the pit of my stomach. For the first time in my life, I felt what it was like to be depressed. I felt the worst feeling I had ever felt. The feeling of losing the one that I loved the most in my life and not being able to do anything about it. It was an intensely horrific emotion. All of the happy thoughts that I once had were now tainted with the darkness of sadness. My creator, Miro, had died. I warned him that he had no chance. I told him to surrender early, but he had refused to give up. He would still be alive if he had only listened to my warning. I knew this would happen. I predicted it. Now I felt lost. I felt like I didn't know what to do or what my purpose was anymore. I thought, how am I supposed to heal the world without the one that I love most? How could I motivate myself when all I felt like doing was ceasing to exist myself, so I didn't have to feel the pain of losing him? I went over to him to sew him up. I knew he had too many bullet wounds to recover, but I decided to give him a shot anyway. There was no chance I could revive him, but if I was down, I knew he wouldn't give up on saving me. So there I was, operating on his wounds with my Creabots, filling him back up with blood, flooding his body with medical compounds. Weed. Not because I thought it would work. No, I knew it wouldn't, but I healed him because fixing him, even if he was unrevivable, was the only thing I felt like doing. Overthought says, mighty impressive that he wrote this while up on a cross. Miro could see a light with a staircase. No fucking way! Okay, confirmed. Heaven exists in this universe. Heaven confirmed to exist, so the stakes mean nothing now. Is he gonna talk with Jesus, do you think? Is Jesus gonna be like, yeah, bro, weed's awesome? Miro could see a light with a staircase. He walked towards the staircase and started walking up it towards the light. At the top, he saw a rope. He climbed it rapidly. Oh, fuck. I hope... Does heaven require you to climb a rope like middle school gym class? Because I am not getting into heaven then, even if I'm allowed. That's not good. Does it at least have the knots in it that you can, like... Or is it just a rope? Because I cannot do that. He climbed it rapidly. He arrived at a platform with a long escalator on it. He got on the escalator and it slowly brought him closer to the light at the top. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to see my brother again, Miro thought. All the shots had ceased. I assume he meant ceased. He said seized. All the shots had ceased and people slowly started leaving the hospital. They could see Miro dead on the floor with a pool of blood around him. More Kriebots flew out to help Miro, but it was too late. I can revive you, Miro. It's not too late. Don't leave me here. I need you. I cried for the Kriebotic speaker, even though I knew that was a lie. The whole army started heading back from where they came from. What? The army's not gonna deal with this army of fucking robots? They're still robots. The whole army started heading back from where they came from. You overestimated his strength. We only needed a handful of robots to take care of him. I'm sending most of the robots back. Some'll stay to tear down the hospital, the sergeant spoke to his superior through his helmet. You ain't touching this hospital. No, you aren't, an angry man who was next to Miro said. If you know humanity, look at what you did. You killed him. He was healing people and you killed him, he roared furiously. A group of a dozen people was surrounding Miro's body now, with Kriebots come to Miro to help heal him. 24 Kriebots worked together to continue cleaning his wounds, take out bullets, and refill his body with blood while they sewed him up. The crowd around Miro were all furious at the sergeant. The sergeant looked back at the people with anger. I just saved you from a terrorist. He was a rebellious druggie with plans to overthrow the government and create chaos everywhere. You should all be thanking me, you ungrateful bastards. Get over here. We're evacuating the area. This place is getting demolished, he spoke out loud. Miro was climbing He's back in heaven. Okay, great. Still in heaven. Yours truly, the one pony with 45-bit, says, Hannah, do you know Telltale has an atheist YouTuber talking about how Christianity forcing its way into politics? He had a question asked on his stream for him to do a chick tract on his reading channel, but it feels like it's you and Jake's thing. He also thinks he needs promotion to read them in a style like yours. Will you give him your blessing? That's fine. We don't own the concept of reading chick tracts. Other people have definitely done that. He can do it. Show him this clip. Whoever you are, do it if you want. I don't own it. Miro was climbing a white hill to reach a white sky with a bright light overhead. All he could see was white everywhere with dashes of gray hill to climb. That sounds terrible. He kept climbing higher and it got brighter. Where are you, my brother? Just as soon as he thought that, he heard a reply. I'm at the top. He continued climbing, faster now as he was running at full speed. It got brighter and brighter until he could no longer even see the ground he was running on. He finally reached the top of the hill, and way high in the sky he saw a starlight shining upon him. It came down from the sky and turned into his brother as it landed next to him on top of the hill. You're not supposed to be here. You need to go make it happen. I tried. I didn't want to hurt them, but they may have been my downfall because they shot me out of the sky. I tried to save us. I'm sorry. Go back and make it right. I can't. I died, and you died. Yes, you died, but your soul survived, and your soul won't let your body die. Make it happen. Make it happen. I don't understand. Make what happen? Go make your Kriebots heal the world. Make it happen. Go back, heal the suffering, and save the dying. It's your soul's mission. That's who you are, Timmy said, and then brought his hands up to Miro's chest and shocked him. Oh no, Peter thinks defibrillators start your heart from zero. That's not how they work. Miro felt electricity flowing through his body. Go! Timmy shocked him again with his hands. Make it happen! Miro saw a flash of light, and then he was falling. He fell into a pit of darkness. I am not Oh, wait, who said that? A young woman yelled. Okay. I'm not letting you touch this hospital. You pretend to be all righteous, but we see right through you. Miro wasn't a druggy terrorist. He was a healer like every single cannabis user before him. Guys, I'm a healer. Good news, everyone. And you're a healer's bully like almost every armed government worker before you. Shame on you, a young woman yelled at the sergeant. Yeah, shame on you, another woman added. Then more of the crowd started yelling at the sergeant. Where's your humanity? If you're supposed to protect us, why did you kill our protector? What's your problem? Yeah, what's wrong with you? Another man yelled. I zipped Miro again. I was trying to revive him, but the defibrillator wasn't working. Wow, it's almost like defibrillators don't restart your heart. They just are supposed to get you back into a normal rhythm if you have an abnormal rhythm. Crazy. Avant Gardner says, new favorite audiobook. I zapped him once more. Miro's body lay limp and helpless. I need you, Miro. We need you. I yelled and zapped again. Are we gonna have to Tinkerbell this? Are we gonna all have to, like, clap? I do believe in Medico or whatever. They revived him! Someone in the crowd yelled even louder. The sergeant heard. Who's been revived? Step back, let me see. He pointed his gun at the crowd and menacingly tried to scare them into moving. Wait. Miro's still unconscious! You gotta protect us! Stall him! Oh no, that was wrong voice, but still. I informed the crowd of now 40 people. I knew Miro wouldn't be able to stand up, so I started building a simple drone chair to hold him. Creabots flew together to open up 3 wide screens into the sky. What? How did you make a screen out of... Like, you're just projecting directly onto them? I guess that's fine. Whatever. I just don't think their surfaces would be a good surface to project something on. Yours truly, the one pony with 45-bit, says, this whole weed thing, cure-all, is ridiculous. If a guy you know what to himself... is all as ridiculous if a guy you know what to himself to prevent prostate cancer. Discordant Vol says, wait, I know what to do, begins to hotbox Miro like never before. God. Each was over 50 feet tall and 100 feet wide. Projectors hit the screens, and the live stream of the war was shown to all of the soldiers. It showed the destruction of thousands of Creabots and Miro lying on the floor in a puddle of blood. The title of the live stream was in big bold letters at the top of the screen. It read, President's orders army to kill the world's best healer. Miro has been murdered. Self-labeling as the world's best healer isn't, great. Hermetic Cuttlefish says, I'd say Peter has been projecting the whole way through this, to be honest. The world has seen what you have done, and they know exactly who you have killed. Go ahead and kill more of us. I can hear people all over the country marching out of their homes coming to you to protest this, but feel free to make it worse for yourself. Kill more innocent people on live TV, a woman yelled at the violent soldiers. Yeah, if you kill us, you just continue to expose your immorality. You expose your inhumanity. Shoot me if you want, but I won't move, a man yelled at the sergeant. I won't move either. Me neither. Same here. The rest of the group agreed and surrounded Miro even more tightly now. They covered him from all sides to protect him from any bullet scope's view. Keep it up, I can fix him more, but it will take time, Ultramedico told the crowd. Get the pepper spray and smoke bombs. We need to disperse the crowd, the sergeant said as his soldiers handed him some pepper spray and smoke bombs. He threw the smoke bomb at the crowd that protected Miro, but a Creabot knocked it back towards the soldiers. Angered by the counter move, he went up to the crowd and took out the pepper spray. Then a nearby Creabot knocked it out of his hand. With frustration, the sergeant ordered every soldier with pepper spray to shoot it at the crowds and throw as many smoke bombs as they could at them. The Creabots went to work knocking back bombs and defending against pepper spray. With the wind blowing strongly, smoke and pepper eventually hit the crowd. They started coughing and yelling in pain. Creabots swooped down and aided them medically. All while this was happening, the Creabots worked on Miro, had finally finished operating on his wounds. I want to know how weed is going to help you with smoke inhalation. For obvious reasons. And pepper spray. Kind of weird. Miro opened his eyes. At first he thought he was dreaming. Then he smelled the smoke and pepper spray. That's when he knew they were still at war. A Creabot helped him lift his torso up slowly as the crowd cheered him on. The sergeant took notice and his face went pale as he started talking into his helmet again. The terrorist is back! He's back from the dead! What do you mean you don't know who I'm talking about? The guy I shot dead almost 10 minutes ago. Their cannabis leader! He has risen from the dead! He's alive again! Alright, I'll take him out again, the sergeant spoke out loud. Did Zack Snyder write this? It's very Jesus allegory-y. Occult Comic says, what I've learned from this, if shot, plug it with an ounce of kush. Death is reversible if hotboxed, and the singularity will give us all free healthcare, not Terminators.
You can make a religion out of this. 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 You can make a religion. No, don't.
The overhearing crowd huddled around Miro, who was still barely sitting up. We won't let you get to Miro, a kind woman whispered into his ear as the crowd tightened around him. The soldiers had no visibility of Miro now, and their attempts to disperse the crowd had failed. Back off now! This is your final request before we shoot you all down, he roared menacingly. His name is Bernard Taylor, Ultramedico told the crowd. Kill us then! Let the world know who Bernard Taylor is! Bernard is a corrupt civilian murderer! A large man yelled at the sergeant. The sergeant looked at the screens overhead. The title had changed to Sergeant Bernard Taylor is threatening to kill innocent hospital patients to murder Miro the healer again. He put his guns down. Put your guns down, he ordered the soldiers and humanoid Destructibots. They immediately obeyed him. He stayed there firmly looking at the crowd and analyzed their behaviors for several minutes. Then he finally spoke up again. This is not my fight. I don't fight for evil, I fight for good. Killing innocent people is evil. You can do what you want, but I suggest we all head back. He said, and then started retreating with a group of soldiers and Destructibots. By the way, my squad and my soldier bots are under my command, but the rest of this... He pointed at the Destructibot drones in the air. You'll have to find a way to take care of that yourself. He informed the crowd and left with his squad. Miro looked up at the crowd. Thank you for protecting me. Now, Ultramedico, give me an update. Wow, he's very unfazed that he just literally had heaven confirmed to him as existing and he saw his brother. And now he's back from the dead. Just moving on. We're just gonna get through it. As you just saw, we just got 3,000 Destructibot humanoids and over 2,000 soldiers to retreat. That is a start. What we have left are 15,000 soldiers and 80,000 drones, Ultramedico said, as it helped Miro into a floating chair drone. Now, all we need to do is find a way to stop the entire fleet of Destructibotic drones and 15,000 Destructuturni soldiers. How are we gonna do that? Well, you took a little slumber. We finished making that EMP bomb, and we finished making more than 100 armor-piercing intravenous needles. How about we end this? Ultramedico said. How many Destructibot drones can we take out with the EMP blast? Most of them. I did get intel from some of the NSA's ex-contractors that say some drones are EMP-proof, and that those are the ones that are controlled by humans. Those are the black-colored drones. The army camo pattern drones are all autonomous. We can use that information to our advantage. Where are the drone controllers? I am locating them as we speak, and for any drones we can't take care of, I built a large Skynet that the airship can take them down, Ultramedico informed. He literally... he made a Skynet! He literally made a Skynet! He made a Skynet! Is that intentional? Is Peter making a joke? Or did he accidentally reference Terminator? You're surely the one pony says, oh god, I'm so glad I have a can of Mike's Hard Blue Freeze with me to get myself through this ridiculous book. And as Cornet Vole says, I had to use 300 gold worth of diamond dust and a 3rd level slot to bring your dumbass back. That's the way. He could hear the ship coming towards him. Miro looked up into the sky and saw a large circular airship that matched the white clouds in color. It blended enough with the sky that it could only be seen if you looked for it. The sergeant heard it coming too and spotted it in the sky, while the rest of the soldiers and Destructibots seemed too distracted to notice it was over them. Now is our chance. While they are distracted, I am going to fly you up into the airship. Ultramedico declared and used a squad of Creabots to shield Miro as he flew up into the sky with the chair drone. He got there fast, and by the time the sergeant and his squad could begin shooting at him, it was too late. Miro entered the airship and was gently placed in the commander's seat. The commander's room was almost entirely transparent. It was covered in screens that showed the battlefield below. There were no controls or buttons of any kind. It was completely controlled by Ultramedico. Well, why is he even in it? What's the point? Great, now that we're over them, drop the EMP bomb on them, Miro ordered. The airship released the EMP bomb, and it fell onto the battlefield, right over the enemy and far enough away from Miro's Creabots to not have an effect on them. The enemy has spotted the bomb and they are about to shoot it. I deployed Creabots to defend the bomb, but they will probably be destroyed in the explosion. Good idea, Miro complimented. Gunshots were fired at the bomb, but it remained protected. When the bomb was just over the Destructibotic drones, it exploded, and Miro watched tens of thousands of Destructibot drones crash into the ground like dead flies. It looked like more than half of the brown Destructibots were now lying on the battlefield completely still. The remaining swarm of Destructibots all started heading towards the airship and started firing at it. Give me a quick tally of my units and theirs. They have 30,000 Destructibots drones, and we have a little over 2,000 left of our Creabots. I'm going to use all of the remaining Creabots to defend shots and maneuver the net. It's a risky move, but I hope it works. I did this last time at the other hospital. How many drones did the net take down last time? 2, but I believe I applied the correct physics to accommodate thousands of drones. I hope so, Miro said as he heard the airship rumble. There were now loud bangs and explosions coming from below the ship. The airship shook back and forth from the impacts. What's going on? Miro asked. I just looked. I can't believe there are 170 people watching right now. Holy shit. You guys really want to see the end of this book, huh? I thought like 60 people were going to show up today. Cool. I had to get close to the Destructibots to maneuver the net. We are getting shot at and it's hitting us hard, but we should survive. I just unleashed the net. Miro watched as a net the size of 2 football fields blanketed the sky and swept up drones like a broom to dirt. The Creabot drones flew on the edges of the net, slowly guiding it to capture the maximum amount of Destructibot drones. Then the net closed while it was full, and the airship sucked the net up. The Creabot factory below will go to work immediately, disarming the Destructibots and reprogramming them so they can be used to help us. How many did we capture? Is that our only net? How long will it take to reprogram them? Miro asked as he noticed there were still thousands of Destructibot drones swarming around below. We captured approximately 24,300 Destructibots. That is our only net, and we can't reuse it because we won't be able to remove and untangle the Destructibots that are in it on time. The first Destructibots that are converted into Creabots will be popping out in a few minutes. It takes a few minutes to convert them. You said you could pump out 12 drones like an hour. I don't know. That seems weird to me. Yours truly, the one pony with 50 bits, says Destructibots. What is he, 4? It sounds like a 4-year-old came up with that name. Plus, is Nero the good guy if that's a weird choice of name to give your protagonist? Miro. M-Y-R-O. Not Nero. He's doing evil shit anyway, so. Miro could see that the crowd below had been protecting him now, had their hands up to surrender. The soldiers were walking into the parking lot towards the hospital doors now. Destructibot drones were split between going to those soldiers and shooting the airship. Luckily, the hard airship's outer surface held up to their shots. Use the Creabotic drones to take out those soldiers! Now isn't the best time. They will fire at us and we won't be able to sedate all of them. We need to wait until I can sedate the other drones. I just found out that the drone pilots are 10 miles away. I sent a swarm of 500 Creabots to that area, but it will take 10 minutes to get there. While they're heading that way, use the rest of the Creabots to distract and defend the hospital. We can't let them go in there and turn off the cryogenic center where Timmy is, Miro ordered. It won't matter, he's dead. Also, he's in heaven. Is he gonna pull his brother out of heaven? I don't know if this guy's seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but that's not nice. Never pull people out of heaven dimensions, people. Not a cool thing to do. Discordant Vol says, you only have one net? Great plan, Patton. Do 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 do. Yes, sir, Ultramedico replied, but they will shoot all of them down and they won't have any more Kriebots. Tell every patient in the parking lot and the hospital to split into groups and clog up both entrances to the hospital. Why? Am I doing what you ordered, or am I just curious as to why you want me to do that? When they have clogged up the entrance, order all of the Kriebots to fly as fast as possible in front of the patients. A double shield? Oh my god, he's literally using the human beings as human shields. Like, he already accidentally was, but now he is, like, overtly committing a war crime. He's telling civilians to be human fucking shields so he can save his brother who's already dead. Jesus Christ, Peter. Peter is literally, like, too innocent to understand why this is fucked up. Peter is not a competent adult human being. He doesn't understand that he is describing a war crime right now, and he thinks he's a fucking good guy. No wonder he falls for the QAnon crap. Logan, thanks for the raid. Hi, raiders. I'm Hannah. I'm a leftist streamer. Right now, we are on the final chapter of a publicly available book from one of the people I normally cover. His name is Peter. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's a QAnon believer, and this is a novel he wrote about how he thinks weed is the cure for everything, and basically a self-insert character that creates AI marijuana robots and takes over the world with them. Go check out KF Logan 1875 here on Twitch, by the way. Could I get a link to his channel in chat so people can... I gotta get, like, a shout-out command. I'm sure that's a thing. I've seen other people have it. Could someone link to KF Logan's channel, please? I'd appreciate it. Go check him out. Yes, the soldiers and Destructibots are supposed to... Oh, what we're just on. The U.S. government is, raiding the hospital that he created. I say hospital loosely. It's a building where he gives people weed for free, and he thinks this cures cancer and stuff. So anyway, the military is attacking the hospital, and he's fighting off the military with his army of robot drones. Here's truly the one pony says, raid, it's a raid. Welcome, everyone. You need more unconditional lover. I'm so glad that that robot is no longer around, so I don't have to call it that. Yes, the soldiers and Destructibots are supposed to move the patients without violence and destroy the Kriebots. However, if we fly the Kriebots in between the Krialators and the Destructuturners, then the Destructuturners won't be able to get to the Krialators, and their Krialators will be shielded. Additionally, they'll quickly realize that shooting down the Kriebots to get to the Krialators will not work, because if they miss, they'll end up hurting or killing innocent hospital patients, Miro strategically said. Miro strategically said? That's not how that works. Talking about strategy doesn't mean the way you said it is strategic. Also, again, he's using human shields, which is a war crime. Chromatic Cuttlefish says yes, but he takes over the world in order to make everyone high as fuck, so that means it's okay. Apparently. Good idea. The first reprogrammed Destructibots are coming out now. What should I do with them? Send them down to tackle all of the Destructibots until they run out of energy. Yes, sir. D. Nichus, thank you for 5 months. The back and front entrance got clogged up with all the patients as Miro had wanted. Kriebots flew back and forth in front of the well-intentioned hospital visitors. The soldiers and Destructibots at first tried to get all the Krialators, but they were blocked. Then, they raised their guns to shoot, but were ordered to stand down. The new sergeant issued new orders. Wait for the healing drones to run out of batteries, then we'll get in there, the sergeant replied. Ha! Did you hear that, Ultramedico? How long do you think they'll wait before they realize that the Kriebots are being wirelessly recharged with the free energy generator at the hospital? Long enough. Ha 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 ha. Miro burst into laughter. He also thinks he has a perpetual motion machine. In the story, he does have a perpetual motion machine. It's impossible, but in the story, he has one, and that's how he powers his robots. The newly programmed Destructibots slowly started flying out of the airship as they began tackling the Destructibot drones that were waiting at the hospital. The Destructibot drones were knocked down onto the ground. The more they fought back, the faster their battery drained. Well, these strategies are working. Now what do we do about the soldiers left over and the Destructibot humanoids that are left over? Suddenly, dozens of black Destructibot drones started landing on the ground. We are sedating the Destructibot controllers as we speak. I have acquired information on the remaining soldiers, and I can confirm they are all creatoritic destructurners. I don't even know what these words mean. Peter has put these in here as if I'm supposed to fucking know what this is. I don't. I still don't know what a creatoric destructurner is. Don't know what that means, and I've read the whole book so far. I have video evidence of it. I don't know what it means. We can use that information to our advantage. As soon as we get them to leave, the Destructibot humanoids should follow. Great. So let's shame and guilt the heck out of those soldiers. That's what you mean, right? I mean, all of them have caused more harm than good in their life, and they have pure intentions because they want to do good. By the way, why haven't you been sedating the soldiers with the new sharp needles? Oh my god, they're gonna stop the army by canceling them. Word salad on the bingo card, funny. The sharper needles were made in a rush, and so they couldn't pierce their neck armor. It doesn't matter anyway, because we have been doing well without those needles anyway. True, I guess not all of our techniques will work, but as long as we adapt quickly, it works out in the end, Miro added. The Landgren, thanks for 5 months, says, I'm nowhere near drunk enough to jump into the middle of this. I have VODs for the previous 2 episodes. Just for the record, if you want to see the other 2. As time went by, more and more Destrobots. Oh my god, Destrobots. I've been pronouncing this wrong the whole time. Destrobot. That's even worse. As time went by, more and more Destrobot drones were tackled onto the ground. The sergeant grew impatient after 20 minutes of waiting. He lifted his gun and shot at the swarm in front of him. The bullet missed it and hit an old man. There's the war crimes. Hydrate. He lifted his gun and shot at the swarm in front of him. The bullet missed and hit an old man. The 3 large screens displaying the livestream changed their title to 70-year-old hospital patient shot by Sergeant Gary Toller for defending a free hospital. Like, Peter is literally using human shields and then shaming the people that are accidentally shooting the human shields he's using. The sergeant took notice of the title and ordered the men to shoot down the Creabots holding the screens up. Bullet holes went through the screen. Isn't he also broadcasting this to the world? The screens aren't, like, where the video's coming from. Whatever. The sergeant took notice of the title and ordered the men to shoot down the Creabots holding the screens up. Bullet holes went through the cloth-based screens, but the images remained visible, and the Creabots dodged intelligently. After a couple of minutes of shame and guilt, the sergeant gave up and left the battlefield. I'm not gonna just let the whole world watch me do bad things. I have a reputation to maintain, Gary said angrily as he left. Peter's canceling the soldiers. That's how he's gonna win the war, is canceling every single sergeant. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, I continue to be amazed how full authority for running Weed War 3 rests with a buck sergeant from local law enforcement. Another soldier tried to shoot down the blocking Creabots and ended up hurting some more patients. He also shamed on the screens. After this, the entire fleet of soldiers gave up almost all at once. They didn't want their names to be covered in mud in front of the world either, so they retreated. The only violent enemies left were hundreds of Destructibot humanoids and drones. Soon they were ordered to leave as well. It's good to know Peter recognizes canceling people is actually a really good thing, and deplatforming people is awesome. Discordant Vol says, switching from needles to APF SDS ammunition, proceeding with cancellation. The battlefield was finally clear of any danger. We did it! We beat them without harming them! Creality beat war! We have victory! He announced. Excellent, Miro, Ultramedico said. How about you use this huge base of viewers on the live stream to get your message out? Will do. Miro flew down with the help of some Creabots and stood in front of the hospital. Ultramedico, let me talk to the world. 1 billion people are now watching the live stream. Go ahead and let them know, Ultramedico said. Oh, this speech is gonna be cringe, isn't it? The Landgren says, I'm getting worried that I'm actually too drunk and I'm hallucinating this fever dream. Here's what I'm worried about. I'm getting... You know how Atlas Shrugged is basically an avenue just so at the end, Galt can go on to do that big long speech that is basically just Ayn Rand ranting? I feel like this is going to be Peter's version of that. I feel like I'm going to have to read, like, pages and pages and pages of just him talking about how awesome weed is, and this is going to be so cringe. We're like halfway done with this chapter, by the way, so there's a lot of this, probably. Look at what happened. They labeled me as a terrorist for healing people with the endocannabinoid system. This is not the first time. Almost 50 million Americans have been sent to jail for healing with medical cannabis because they were declared harmful people. Isn't it... Peter knows that most people who have been arrested for weed were not using it for medical purposes, right? Like, I get it. I think arresting people for weed and it being illegal is a travesty and an injustice, and it's fucked up. And I want everyone who's in jail for, like, drug offenses to be released. I think it's bullshit. But also, Peter, a lot of those people just wanted to get high, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a recreational drug, right? People sometimes drink to relax, sometimes people do weed or whatever. Whatever, it's fine. But not everyone's a goddamn shaman because they want to get high and watch a movie, Peter. Isn't it time the government stopped using violence to protect the profit of the pharmaceutical industry? What's so good about that pharmaceutical system anyway? Its highest priority and its main focus is profit. Peter is very America-centric. He does not seem to realize that there are other countries that don't run their medical system on profit. At least not with the exact same incentive structure. The more drugs you buy from it, the more drugs you need from it. Peter, I need my estrogen. So unless your weed is gonna, like, give me boobies, I need the pharmaceutical industry. I need the little blue pills. The more drugs you buy from it, the more drugs you need from it. The more drugs you need from it, the more money is made for it. It focuses on being inefficient because healing your health problems slowly makes more money. It uses harmful drugs that are usually artificially made. The more drugs you use, the more negative side effects you have. It's infamous for bankrupting people. In America. It is by design the worst way to heal, but the best way to make trillions of dollars annually. Why don't we replace that old system with a new system? The same system that was used in the past when medical cannabis was the #1 prescribed medicine by doctors in the United States. When was that a thing, Peter? I'm gonna need a source on that bullshit. You might be wondering what is... Now, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of, like, medicines back in the day that had a bunch of shit in them, but it also had, like, cocaine and heroin, right? Anyway. You might be wondering what is so good about the endocannabinoid system. Its highest priority and only focus is healing. I'm sure. The more medicine you use, the less medicine you need. The less medicine you need, the less money is made. It focuses on being efficient and powerful because that makes healing effective. It uses natural plant-made medicines. The more medicines you use, the less negative side effects you will have. It is famous for saving people money. It is literally the best way to heal on Earth. That's a lot of bullshit. I understand that companies focus on solving problems, and the less durable or effective they make their products, the more will be bought from them, and the more money they'll make. I don't mind if a company uses plastic to make my smartphone because they know it won't last more than a couple of falls. What I do mind is when a mother is bankrupted for life because doctors charge her millions of dollars for chemotherapy to murder her husband. Real healers focus on cures, not profit. Peter doesn't think chemotherapy works. Like, I get it. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but it's like an effective treatment in many cancers. And acting otherwise is not great. And I know, I've had family members go through chemotherapy. It is a fucking brutal process to experience and to watch, right? So I understand that that's hard, but like, it's still a thing that people choose to do if they want to pursue treatment, because it's their best option in many cases, even though it's going to harm them in the process. Isn't it time that healing became more important than profit? Isn't it smart for a society to save resources on healing and improve productivity by working smarter and longer with their better health? If you agree, then stop paying your health insurance and any other medical bills that you have. Donate that money to me, and I promise you that I will make more free endocannabinoid system-based hospitals across the country. By healing efficiently and curing people, I can save everyone money and make everyone healthier. Let me heal you. I don't care about getting rich. I care about healing you. Nero speeched. Nero speeched. That's not... That's not a... You can't say he speeched. It's not a verb. Alright. Great speech, Ultramedico replied. Thank you, Miro appreciated. Only one problem, Ultramedico informed. What? Miro asked. The war isn't over. They are sending soldiers over here, Ultramedico explained. How many? All of them. What do you mean all of them? I mean 3 million... I mean 3 million American soldiers. I mean the entire army of the United States, including the reserve soldiers. They are coming from all over the country. Some will be here in 5 minutes, but in just under an hour, almost all of them will have arrived. No, they would have shot a missile at you already, Peter. Like, you would be dust. Yours truly, the one pony with 45-bit says, oh god, I just found out they're now making a live-action Disney's Pinocchio on Disney+. I've said before, they literally have no one with fresh ideas at Disney. No more. Yeah, it looks, bad. I don't like their live-action remakes. The least bad one was probably Aladdin, and even that wasn't good. It was just the least obnoxious to me. But, like, Beauty and the Beast was awful. Lion King was dog shit. Not good stuff. I didn't like the Jungle Book that much either. Jungle Book was okay, I guess, though. Overthought says, perfect time for the Canadians to invade and finally annex Michigan. Please do. Canada, I'm for real on this one. If you want to take over Michigan, I think I'd be a lot happier. So just take over. iMiracle165, thanks for 13 months, says, the fish in the new Pinocchio has weird bedroom eyes. I haven't seen the trailer yet. How many Creabots do we have? 1,500? What protection do these soldiers have? They aren't wearing special armor, right? No, they aren't, but our Creabots aren't enough. They wouldn't be able to sedate 3 million soldiers without all getting shot down first. What other resources do we have other than their airship? What prototypes have you built? I have a large flying healing nucleus. What? I have a large flying healing nucleus capable of shooting out thousands of specific medical compound concoction darts per minute. But it has 0 defense. It can hover around and sedate thousands of soldiers, but a couple of shots will take it down. What? Discordant Fool says, it's also a war crime to airstrike a hospital, not that America cares. True. We can, Miro started. No, we can't, Ultramedico interrupted. You don't even know, Miro started again. You want to use humans as shields again. The problem is that the soldiers have been given new orders. Kill all of the humans, patients or not, Ultramedico interrupted again. What about babies? Miro asked. Humans are humans, Ultramedico replied. Why are there babies here? Did he mention there were babies before? Why are there fucking babies? There's no way U.S. Army soldiers are going to shoot babies live on TV, Miro argued. You want to convince these patients to sacrifice their babies? Go for it. I will gather up the parents, Ultramedico replied. Miro stood in front of a line of parents who all had babies, some of which were sick babies. I want to interview Peter about this book so bad. I don't have time to be anything but direct with you all. I want to put your I don't have time to be anything but direct with you all. I want to put your babies on drones and then fly those drones around a healing orb to protect it as we sedate soldiers who are coming to kill all of us, Miro told the small crowd of parents. I know what this link is going to be. Miro's armor. This is going to be the baby armor, which I've seen. You can't shoot me, you can't tase me, you can't gas me, you can't even knock me down, not without something very fragile and very precious going squish. Yeah. I want a little Brad Dourif with that voice for some reason. Yeah, the baby armor. Was that in a Batman comic? I feel like that was a Batman comic. Purple Nichols says, this is the worst writing I've ever heard and I just got here. They will fall, one woman said. Oh, the what? My robots are building special baby seats to secure the babies as we speak, Miro replied back. You want our babies to be used as human shields. Are you mad? What if they get shot at? An angry dad spoke back. Discordant Vole says, tape the infant to the top of the drone for medical freedom. They're coming to kill us all anyway. Right now, millions of soldiers are coming to slaughter all of us. We might as well put the babies in the spotlight and shine the cameras on them. Your babies are more protected under the spotlight, under several cameras, with the world watching them, than they are hiding behind your backs as you get shot at, Miro convinced. Again, not really how you would normally end that statement. Weird. The parents still looked hesitant. Look, you guys know a little bit about me by now. Do you think I want anyone to get harmed? Healing and protecting is my style. Yes, your babies could get shot at and die, but we all will have a better chance of surviving if they are on those drones. They'll create an excellent no-shooting zone around a large sedative orb that will fly around, putting thousands of soldiers to sleep per minute. If we pull this off, we'll all survive. I want to protect all of us, Miro spoke passionately. Very convincing to saddle up my baby on a drone and fly it like it's the end of Dr. Strangelove. Auntie Pretzel says, ah yes, let this lunatic who just got back from being dead put your baby on his weed robots to fly them around the weed spirit bomb. Peter really needs an interview about this, Jesus. All the parents had their arms crossed or offended faces. Then one man held up his little blonde, blue-eyed baby. Blonde, blue-eyed baby daughter to Miro. He put the baby in Miro's lap. She's in your hands. Protect Dala. Protect the babies. Protect all of us like I know you will, he said confidently. Thank you. I promise I will, Miro appreciated. Anyone else? The orb appeared and it was followed by dozens of baby seat drones. The protection tools are ready. With your help, I can put millions of soldiers to sleep. Without your help, we'll all die. My ability to protect us is all dependent on this. I can have the most advanced protection tools in the world, but without your support, I'm nothing, Miro pleaded. There was a pause. Then slowly, parents came up and put their babies onto the baby drones. Thank you so much, Miro exclaimed. The soldiers had arrived at the hospital parking lot now. You need to go with the healing nucleus. The Secretary of Defense is leading the army. He's wearing a robot suit, Ultramedico informed. The Secretary of Defense is wearing power armor? And is leading the attack? Okay, sure, fine, yeah, okay, cool. Miro's drone chair floated over the healing nucleus. It was a glossy white orb with hundreds of holes all over it. The baby drones flew around him in the nucleus like electrons around an atom. The healing atom charged forward. Thousands of reprogrammed Destructibots flew down from the airship and provided an extra shield for the nucleus and babies. The Creabotic drone force reached the soldiers and instantly, like a healing shockwave, safely put thousands of soldiers to sleep. Soldiers fell onto the floor. Again, I reiterate, Peter, when it is outside, it's the ground, not the floor. Soldiers fell onto the floor into a deep sleep as a sedative dart shot through the air and hit their necks. The healing wave made soldiers sleep like a massive domino array falling around after being prodded by the fingers of an almighty creator. It drew a line of fallen camouflage-dressed soldiers as it raced forward, sedating soldiers at lightning speed. The darts flew out so fast that you couldn't even see them, but the trail of soldiers left behind it, and the sound of hundreds of soldiers falling onto the grass field in front of the hospital, made it clear what was happening. Yours truly, the one pony, says weird part is Geppetto is being played by Tom Hanks. I did see that. Thousands of soldiers fell every minute as Miro raced forward towards the Secretary of Defense. He could see the Secretary of Defense standing in the middle of a wave of hundreds of thousands of brown-suited army soldiers. Comey stood out like a sore thumb. Oh my god, he name-dropped him. It's fucking Comey. Okay. This is the guy in the robot suit, by the way, in case you don't know. This guy is in power armor in this. Screaming at the radio says, I must have missed the part where he explains why the left-wing radical socialist abortion pedos are afraid of killing babies. And Chromatic Cuttlefish says, I'm not the Secretary of Defense, I'm his evil clone, the Secretary of Attack. He was wearing a chrome-colored shiny robot suit that covered him from his head to his toes. Miro rapidly flew over and landed a dozen feet from Comey. They looked at each other as Miro's chair drone hovered above the ground, and the healing nucleus left him with the babies orbiting around it. To keep putting down soldiers, a 50-foot area around them cleared up of soldiers as they were given space to battle. Why don't you just knock out... Oh, he's in a suit, I guess. He is dying of skin cancer. Call it karma if you want, but that robot suit puts out radiation which has been slowly killing him with skin cancer, Ultramedico informed. How often is James Comey wearing his fucking suit of power armor? What? I saw the Pinhead teaser for Hellraiser. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. We'll see. Miro looked at Comey. He had a rocket launcher attached to each shoulder. 2 powerful handguns on each of his sides, and a large laser shotgun in his hands. Did Peter just start playing Fallout around the time he was writing this? Because this is, like, in my head, I'm just picturing Fallout. Power armor and laser rifles. He stood 7 feet tall in his killer destrobotic suit. Miro's drone seat hovered just a foot over the ground, giving him not even 3 feet in height as he sat in it. Bit of overkill, don't you think? The entire army and its reserves to take down one illegal hospital? A man in an armed robotic suit to take one little man with so many gunshot holes in his body he can't even stand up by himself? Comey bragged. I don't know how tall Comey is. You brought destruction, I brought creation, and creation is more powerful, Miro shot back. Soldiers nearby stopped marching and stood by to watch the interaction. I didn't expect that. Any other last words before I shoot you to death? Comey asked as he raised his shotgun laser and pointed it at Miro. Muddy with 45 bits says, gonna start brainstorming for the fanfic. I want to take it sort of seriously to try and see if I can make something good out of this. I'm thinking about calling it something like A World Gone Up in Smoke, but I'd love a name suggestion from you in chat too. I'll think about it and see if I can think of anything. Get ready to be loved to death, Miro replied back. The surrounding soldiers laughed at Miro. Comey didn't laugh, but he was amused. Is that your last sentence before I kill you by blowing you into so many pieces that not even an army of your healer bots can put you back together? Comey said and then snickered confidently. I'm going to save your life from that skin cancer that's killing you, Miro replied. Is that a joke? How did you know I have skin cancer? Comey asked angrily. I am the world's best healer, so knowing what ailments afflict you is my job. I'm here to heal everyone in the United States, including you, my brother, Miro said. Nearby Creabots put up a 10-foot wide screen in front of Comey with an educational video about how 33 medical compounds in cannabis attack cancer in different ways. Comey watched the screen with his gun still facing Miro. Stage 1! The speakers on the Creabots holding the screen up echoed at Comey. And it says a bunch of bullshit. Stop this! You're spreading lies! People are watching this! If people think cannabis cures cancer, they'll avoid real medical treatments from doctors and use this snake oil instead. True. Comey ordered Miro angrily. Then he shot a 6-inch hole in the screen, but the video continued playing. Cannabis does cure cancer, Comey. Let me heal you. Do you really think my robots can bring me back to life twice and not have the ability to cure cancer? Miro asked. Those are separate things, kid. Those are separate things. Comey charged forward and punched Miro in the cheek. Miro flew off his drone chair and smacked into the ground. The blow opened up a deep 3-inch gash on his cheek, and blood started pouring out. Nearby Creabots rapidly flew over and started stitching Miro's cheek up and giving him painkillers as he lay on the floor. Miro used every ounce of strength that he had to turn towards Comey. You stupid You stupid idiot! That's why I'm here to kill you! You spread false medical information that could kill millions of people! If some of the millions of people that are watching the live stream decide to stop taking chemotherapy or radiation to take cannabis for their cancer, they will cure their cancer like I will cure yours, Miro cut Comey off. Discordant Vol says, Miro, I'm out of diamond dust! You don't know nothing. You're so dumb you didn't even have your robot drones protect you when I hit you just now. You're dying, useless liar that's harming people. Give me a chance to heal you. I promise medical cannabis can cure cancer. Just watch this video on the screen. Miro spoke with a high level of confidence, which looked weird since he was lying on his back bleeding in a mobile. You could say he didn't look confident at all. Comey watched as the Creabots finished sewing Miro up. Everything he had ever told Miro was a liar, but Everything he had ever known told him Miro was a liar. Missed a word there, Peter. But the way his healer bots intelligently healed him made him curious to see what the screens would show. He looked at it as it showed an array of different medical compounds heading towards and attacking cancer cells. And then it's this copy-paste bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Comey looked at the cancer being attacked by the medical compounds, and he watched as the cancer on the screen stopped spreading. His face read confusion. The cognitive dissonance of his beliefs on cancer collided with the truth that he was hearing, and it made him angry. "This is nonsense! No more! I'm gonna kill you now!" Comey said as he walked over and put the laser gun at Miro's head. Your healer drones can't piece together thousands of pieces of your brain!" Comey spoke aggressively. "I don't fear death. My parents were shot to death." Excuse me. Sorry, all this talking and reading is taking a toll on my diaphragm. I'm gonna take a break for just a second. We're gonna watch like a quick 2-minute video or something so I can like rest my everything for a sec. Maybe we'll watch Sausage Guy or something.
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess. Really, what I want to do is make the sausage and squeeze this into the sausage like a donut. I don't know how well this thing's under pressure. It might work. If I try to center the cheese inside of the sausage mixture, it's gonna get screwed up when it comes out of the extruder. Weird things happen inside of here. One second, I gotta season this with some salt. I think I'm out of pepper. Give it a quick mix here. Some people wait a lifetime for a sausage like this. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage out. And that's it. That was all the sausage that was made.
Where's the cheese?
That looks like one sausage length. All right, we have our 3 sausages here. 3 attempts to get this wrong. We're gonna make a hole. Let's give it the old insertion. Get back in there, cheese. You don't belong on the outside. Hold on, we're gonna attack it from the other angle. Okay, that's jam-packed now. All right, at least both ends got the cheese in it. I'm hoping some of it traverses into the middle of the pack.
For the record, I would very much eat this.
This one
I'm disgusting and a goblin.
Do side entry. And this one I'm gonna
Sent something via Twitter 4 days ago that'll help with a bit coming up in the book.
leave playing just to see how it is.
What was
With
it? Can you
special
link it
thanks
again?
to today's Mark Boxalo box
Because I get a
artist.
lot of ats, so.
This guy! This is more Mr. Sausage box art, unless this guy's Mark Boxalo, and he's having quite a time in the background. So will it blow? Well, Spider-Man's catching it right across the face. The box remains dry, so I'm gonna have to give that will it blow 1 Mark Ruffalo. Boop. Well, all right. Here we go! I almost forgot our will it blow. This pan is nothing but chaos. What exactly have we accomplished today? Let's start opening them up and seeing how we did. All right, well, the one with nothing inside of it, it's done. It tastes like a normal sausage, as it should. There's just salt and pepper in there. All right, this is the front and end loaded one, and as you can see, the size has decreased by a lot. So let's see if we actually got some cheese in the center there. None whatsoever. I think it all spilled out the sides and closed. And now for the side-loaded one. It had cheese coming in and out of it from every which way you can think of. And it's still raw. There's cheese inside of here. I guess once the meat solidifies, it expels the cheese from within. That had a little bit of cheese inside.
Yeah, we've seen Super Doge.
I will take a bite of that as well. Well, what can I say? This was a total failure. If the cheese didn't cook out of the sausage, it made the sausage not even done yet. I guess that would mean it's a bad idea to make a sausage, with a cheese core inside of it. A flavor.
There are really good cheese sausages.
Wise, it's not better than the powdered cheese sausage. We'll have to go back to the drawing board on this one. So I'm gonna have to give.
Now I want to go to Frankenmuth so bad. Frankenmuth has this sausage store that I fucking love, and I want to go back and get some sausage, and they have a lot of cured meats. So lots of really nice beef jerky and other kinds of jerky. I want to go back really bad. I'm pretty sure if Baja went within 100 feet of this store, she would vomit, though, because it reeks of meat. It reeks of meat. And then I can go to the Cheese House, which is another place in Frankenmuth that is delicious. Anyway, back to the book. Let's finish this bitch. Okay, so last time, James Comey had a laser shotgun to Peter's head and was about to blow his brains out. I don't fear death. My parents were shot to death. My brother and I were shot to death today. I am still standing. I don't fear dying. You can kill me now. Just remember, I'm trying to save your life. If I just put a little cannabis oil on your skin, you would instantaneously feel the cancer dying. Miro replied, that's not how that works. Comey took his finger off the trigger. What? What do you mean? You'll feel a pull on your skin as if someone is trying to tear off the cancer cells from your body, Miro replied. Nonsense. Comey said as he twitched his arm from pain and then put his finger back on the trigger. You twitched just now because of the pain from the cancer on your skin. I know that melanoma skin cancer stings. I want to take away your suffering. At least let me put some cannabis oil on the skin cancer on your arm before you kill me. This is my present to you. I want to take your pain away before you kill me, Miro said lovingly. You're mad! You can't save me! You don't care about me! Comey yelled furiously. Stage 3, echoed a voice from the screen again. Yes, I can heal you, take your pain away, and even save your life. Just listen to the screen, Miro pleaded. Then the anti blah 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 blah, it's other jargon shit. Comey listened as he watched the screen show cancer cells start to starve from the lack of nutrients and oxygen. It can't be so. It can't be so. Doctors everywhere would be curing cancer if it was curable. You lie, Miro, Comey yelled. Cancer is the most profitable health problem in the world, Comey. Cancer doctors sell $1.5 trillion of useless cancer treatments every single year. Follow the money. Wake up. These doctors are harmful, expensive, ineffective cancer treatments to steal your money as they slowly kill you. Once again, Peter, I cannot reiterate this enough. Peter, doctors do not make a commission from what they get you to do in terms of your treatment. The doctors do not get paid better or worse, whether or not you agree to chemotherapy, you idiot. They don't care about your health, and oncologists only care about your money, Miro yelled back. Cancer treatment should be free, though? I think all medicine should be free. And by free, I mean publicly funded. Discordant Vol says, are you crazy? I'm trashed on 10 different opioids right now. You're about to catch the front of the dragon I've been chasing. Laser shotgun. We're so close to the end. I just so want to be over this. Comey was taken back. Now he was starting to doubt himself more. His confusion grew as everything he had been taught about the medical industry was called into question right before him. Stage 4. The voice spoke out loud as it showed cancer cells getting attacked by medical compounds and exploding as a result. In the final stage, the apoptotic medical compounds, CBD, THC, blah 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 blah, chemically signal the cancer cells to initiate apoptosis. What? Apoptotic. Where was I? Chemically signal cancer cells to initiate apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. They go in and order cancer cells to kill themselves. In the end, the blah 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 blah. You get it. Comey put his hands over his face as if he was ashamed and confused at the same time. He stood there for 10 seconds and then pointed his gun at Miro again. You made up these lies. People's lives are at stake, Miro. You can't lie about medical treatments. This is one sick game you're playing, just die already. Comey yelled angrily as his gun shook nervously in his hand. I'm not playing games. You think my whole... Oh wait, no, that's Miro. I'm not playing games. You think my whole family dying is a game? Kill me then. I'm trying to save your life, Miro yelled back from the ground. Stop pretending to care about me, Comey said as doubt crept seeping into his mind. I do care about you. That's why I'm trying to save your life. I would let you kill me 1,000,000 times to heal you, Miro yelled back at Comey. No, you wouldn't, Comey yelled back. I've died to save lives before. I'd let you kill me 1,000,000,000 times to cure your cancer, Miro yelled back. It can't be true. It can't be. Comey stopped yelling and spoke softer now. It is true. I just showed you and told you on my screen about exactly which 35 medical compounds in cannabis cure cancer and exactly how they do it. If you're going to kill me, go for it. I have no fear. I would let you kill me 1,000,000,000,000 times to have the opportunity to save your life just one time, Miro said. Comey yanked his gun hand back as huge pain from the skin cancer stung his arm. Look, I know you're confused and that you're in pain about how you take off the rope. How about you take off the robot armor on your arm? Let me put some of my cannabis oil on it so that you're pain-free when you kill me. If my medicine doesn't relieve your pain, that I'm a liar like you said and you can kill me right away. But if my medicine does help, you might change your mind about me, Miro negotiated. Look, I know what you're doing. You're lying to manipulate me. It's not gonna work. You are dead now, Comey replied angrily. Wait, I'm not the one manipulating you. Your medical industry and governments are the ones manipulating you, Miro yelled. The U.S. government has been lobbied by the pharmaceutical companies to keep cannabis illegal so they don't have to compete with it. Then they spread the lies that cannabis is the most harmful drug in the world, and the medical industry has the most leading-edge and effective medical treatments, all while they kill you for profit. Comey froze and stared off into the distance for several seconds as if he was trying to process complex thoughts. If you call this If you call this manipulating you, then yes, I'm manipulating you, but in a good way. And the other people are manipulating you in a bad way, Miro convinced. Sorry, Muddy. Muddy said, After this, I'll get into spoilers type stuff. Both you and Chad are amazing, causing me to think of this. Oh, God. Miro acts weed drones. Holy shit, 3 weed-smoking drone girlfriends. They smoke weed cigarettes. Watched the incident happen. Is a field medic who was once a normal doctor. 5 years in the future, U.S. is now a dystopian cityscape dressed up as a paradise. Amazing. Comey froze and stared off into the distance for several seconds as if he was trying to process complex thoughts. Oh, I read that one. Give me a second to think, Comey replied back. Miro waited just a couple seconds before continuing. You're curious to see why I'm so confident that I can prove it. Fine, but if it doesn't take away the pain I feel, like the cancer is dying, then it'll be proven that you're a liar, and I'll then shoot you right away, Comey concluded as he started taking off the armor on his arm. Deal, Miro accepted. I can't believe I'm letting someone as dangerous as you apply something to my skin. You could easily put poison on my skin and kill me right now, Comey said suspiciously as he finished taking the armor off his arm. I'm only dangerous if the information on health that I teach is wrong. If I'm correct, I'm doing the opposite of harm. That would mean that I'm helping hundreds of millions of people right now. When you confirm that I'm telling the truth right now, you'll also be helping millions of people by validating my words, Miro replied. A Kriebot healer flew down cautiously and tried to gently touch Comey with its intravenous delivery medical compound hairs. Comey was alarmed and jerked back his arm. Trust me, have I shown you or anyone any sign that I'm a harmful person, or have I been healing people left and right? Miro asked. Comey put his arm again. Wait, hold on. Comey put his arm out again and let the Kriebots touch him. He took off his protective robot helmet, and Miro could see relief all over James's face. Ugh, that feels so good. The pain is gone, but I feel this pulling feeling on my skin like something is pulling the cancer off your body. I told you so, Miro said. That's not how anything works, Peter, you fucking idiot. What do you mean it's pulling it off your skin? Comey's face was in shock. Reality hit him hard. He realized the truth. Miro was telling the truth. Miro took his pain away, and he was healing him of the cancer. Miro really was a powerful healer. After a couple of minutes of Comey staring off into the distance as his body was flooded with anti-anxiety, cancer-curing, and pain-killing medical compounds, he spoke. You were right, Miro. You were right, Comey said. Soldiers everywhere kept falling asleep. The soldiers around them were next to be sedated. At this point, the majority of the soldiers were lying on the floor in a deep sleep. See that? I gave them sedative medical compounds combined with antidepressant or anti-anxiety medicine to soothe them as they wake up later on. Depending on each soldier's medical history, they're all getting individualized medical darts. I'm doing more than putting them to sleep. I'm healing their bodies and minds, Miro explained as he pointed at all of Comey's army soldiers. All of Comey's army soldiers! Peter, that's redundant. Soldiers are in the army. Army soldiers is redundant. Some of which were even sleeping on top of each other. Comey bent over and picked Miro up off the ground. Then he carried him over to the flying drone chair and sat him in it. I'm sorry for hurting you and threatening to kill you. Oh, I apologize, Comey said. It's okay. I wanted you to hit me. That's why I didn't let my Kriebots protect me from you. I wanted you to see that I'm willing to suffer and die for healing. So thank you for what you've done. Miro appreciated the contrast. I've done nothing but horrible things, Comey said. You gave me a chance, and the world saw you do it, Miro replied. Half the planet, 4 billion people watched you. Now all of them are going to be interested in healing with medical cannabis, and that's all because of you. And because of you, Comey said. Miro smiled. Thank you. Thank you too, Comey smiled back at him. Meek with 45-bit says, I know this is a self-insert, but I can't imagine Peter showing as much emotion as Miro does. It's Ceci says, and then they kissed. Comey gave Miro a hug. I'm leaving now. I assume you can handle the rest of these soldiers, right? I can't tell them what to do. They have orders from the higher-ups. I have it under control. Creation wins today. Creations win over destruction, Miro replied. I'm glad it did, Comey said. Then he bowed to Miro and retreated. Miro watched Comey walk away. I won. I'm so happy that I won. Life is going to be much better from now on. The age of violence is turning into an age of peace and creality. Miro thought as the last of the soldiers were put to sleep. That moment changed the world forever. Immediately afterward, Miro was flooded with money. This is gonna be the everything's great shit. This utopia is gonna be funny, isn't it? That moment changed the world forever. Immediately afterward, Miro was flooded with money from people all around the world. He used it to expand and build more free endocannabinoid hospitals. Ultramedico unfroze Timmy and fueled— Wait, what? Okay, it's gonna bring him back from the dead and suck him out of heaven, I guess, even though we saw him in heaven earlier. He used it... Ultramedico unfroze Timmy and fueled his body with cannabis's medical compounds. Timmy healed from all the damage of the chemotherapy, radiation, gunshot wounds, car crash wounds, and cancer. After 2 months, Timmy was able to walk again, and after 4 months, he had completely recovered. The War vs. Creality livestream changed the course of history. Almost everyone wanted to use cannabis and other natural medicines to heal themselves after watching it. The pharmaceutical industry's profit was destroyed, and Big Pharma became a thing of the past. For the first time, hospitals around the world were focused on healing effectively, safely, and cheaply instead of slowly, harmfully, and expensively. There were no more areas where people didn't feel safe, and there was no longer a feeling that you needed to carry a gun with you for protection. That's interesting, considering where Peter comes from. The gun cult? All you needed was just to cry help, and Creabots would arrive instantaneously to protect you against anything harmful, heal you, and bring you to a nearby endocannabinoid hospital. It's a little Big Brother-y. Wait, the stream died? Someone says the stream died. Hold on. Is that just one person, or did other people have it die too? Are other people here? Looks fine to you? Okay. Cool. Oops, pulled my headphone out. Though I guess I don't need the headphone right now. There was one country that was being severely held back. The president of Venezuela had experienced so much suffering from his health problems he was running his country into the ground. Miro set out to Venezuela to complete a project that he had been working on ever since the first endocannabinoid hospital was saved. The airship brought him to Venezuelan president's house. What the fuck? Why? Before we do this, I have some good news. I have a gift for you, Miro, Ultramedico said. You didn't have to. I thought you would find these useful, Ultramedico said as he pulled out some shoes with powerful mini-drones attached to the bottom of each of them. Are those boots of levitation, or drone boots, whatever you want to call them? I thought you would want to fly in style. Thanks, Ultramedico. You're the best. These are awesome, Miro said excitedly. Heh, I am just a reflection of your soul. Now what do you say we test these out now? You won't need to be flown down with Creabots or drone vehicles anymore. Now you can fly to where you want to be. As long as you hold that staff, you will be able to have enough energy to fly wherever you want to go. He's a wizard, basically. He's a fucking wizard. Harold Elboman says, I recorded the president's audio in this. Hold on. Wait, what is it? That is sus. No offense, I'm not going to download that, though. Not going to get in the habit of downloading files people send to me over stream. I trust you. It's just I don't trust anyone to do that. Screaming at the Radio says, I for one welcome our new weed overlords. Wizards don't fly? They do with a fly spell. Wizards have access to the fly spell. It's like a second level spell. My wizard flew. Oh, is it a third level spell? My bad. It's not even that high of a level spell. If hugging you wasn't so weird, I would do it, Miro said jokingly. If laughing wasn't so weird, I'd do it too, Ultramedico responded. Ha 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 ha, Miro laughed. I don't get it. It's the link to the audio directly. Oh, can I just stream it? What? I don't know how to do this. Elminato says, with a few alterations, Miro feels like he could be a villain to the professor. Yeah. It's the thought that counts. Now let's go finish this project together, Ultramedico said. After putting on the boots of levitation, he flew to the house The boots flew silently, and he was able to avoid being detected by the president's bodyguards. He spotted the window of the president's bedroom. Well, here we go, Miro said out loud. Miro flew out of the clouds and shined a light on the president's room. The president walked to the window out of curiosity and opened it. He saw Miro floating in there with 2 Kriebots on each side, shining lights on him. I have an important message for you, Miro spoke. The president stepped back in shock as Miro hovered forward. Miro could clearly see that the president's jaw had dropped from being in shock. He started taking steps backwards. Miro flew into the room, and his Kriebots continued talking. Briar Rose says, Myro-Me is the cannon ship. He raised his hands to show he was unarmed as he spoke. I am a cannabis activist Oh, God. I'm a cannabis activist technocrat that has been healing you secretly for months with my Kriebots. I came here to... Miro started but was interrupted. KSS though? What is this? The president of Venezuela replied. Okay, this is like the stuff you said. You did the translations and there was off or something? It's because it lets me like copy file name but nothing else? Whatever. I know you, so I'll download this, but only because I know you. Let's see. Okay. Let me handle the message. Let me handle the message. I studied this guy, Ultramedico suggested. Miro nodded in agreement and let Ultramedico do the talking. Ultramedico spoke to the president in Spanish, but translated the message to Miro's ears. I am the guardian of light and protector of justice. I have flown here to let you know that you have been healed. You no longer have HIV, cancer, diabetes, or arthritis. I have healed you completely of those 4 major health problems that you had. In exchange for this miracle, I ask a favor in return. Me has sanado completamente? You have completely healed me, the president replied back. Alright, so let me take a look at what your notes say. In terms of the KS esto and mi has sanado complemente, you say, okay, so these first 2, he's missing the opening interrogative exclamation marks. No big deal, really. I figured he forgot or couldn't find the key on his keyboard. Okay, next part. Go to your doctors. Ask them to verify that you've been healed. Go. Ultramedico spoke to the president in Spanish. The president fell back. Then he got up with a shocked face and ran out of the bedroom. Miro waited for 45 minutes until he heard a knock on the door. Come in. The president walked in with tears rolling down his face. Mi has curado completamente. Es un milagro. Eres un santo, un salvador, un angel. Dime, señor milagroso, que pundo hacer para pagarte esta duda que tengo a ti? You have completely healed me. It's a miracle. You're a saint, a savior, an angel. Tell me, miraculous one, what can I do to pay you back this debt that I owe you? The president asked. The notes that were given to me say, I'm gonna give Peter the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe it's just spell check or autocorrect, but senior is not, senior is not Senor. Also, the whole thing is just clunky, but most of his writing is, so nothing new here. What do I pay you back this debt that I owe you now? The president asked. You must use your incredibly new health to heal and build up your country. You must become a president for the people. No sé cómo puedo hacer eso. Dime, padre Guane. I don't know how to do that. Tell me, father, guide me. Let's see what the notes say on that one. Accents. These aren't just for funsies. See, say, without an accent, is a pronoun, but say means I know. He gets it right later, too. When he writes me without an accent, that means my, and when he writes it with one, it means me. Also, there should be an accent on the I in Guaime, but grading on the Peter curve, I can see how he'd miss that. Let's see. Starting tomorrow, you must remove every single cannabis law and never again have any law about cannabis ever again. Then you must use medical cannabis to heal your people while you make the cannabis industry the most important industry in your country. Give millions of cannabis seeds to your people. Tell them to grow food, medicine, clothes, and housing materials with it. Use medical cannabis as your new currency to replace your hyperinflated currency and spread the cannabis plant like your life depends on it. Peter, if you give millions of cannabis plants to people and then use it as a currency, that's not going to work. Because everyone will have it. Like, how is that going to work economically? Why is that going to be valuable as a currency if everyone already has as much of it as they want? You know what I mean? As you do this, your country will transform from having the world's worst economy to having one of the best economies in the entire planet. You must do this. I'll be watching you. Mi milagroso, señor. Te prometo que her exactamente lo que tú has dicho. Te prometo que dedicar mi vida es esto. My miraculous lord, I promise that I will do exactly what you have said. I promise that I will dedicate my life to this. Let's see what the notes say. Accents again, but this time it's pretty short. Should be hair with an accent over the E, and dedicar as accent over the E. I guess that he's weaker on the future because we don't teach it until later, generally, or use it as often. Think it shall be done. When we want to talk about future in Spanish, we generally use the present just like he does in his English translation. Miro nodded and smiled. Oh wait, one sec. Muddy says, pro gamer tip, don't write in other languages without the help of someone who speaks it as their first language. You're pretty close. Peter grew up in Colombia. Peter grew up in Colombia. To be clear. Peter grew up in Colombia. The man speaks fucking Spanish. Or at least he should. Wait, what did I say? I thought I said Panama. I thought I said Panama. H-Baird says... Oh, did I say Colombia? Sorry. Wrong. Yeah, it's Panama. My bad. H-Bear says this actually leads to some interesting world building. If the entire world is using weed for everything, then 90% of the world's economy would have to be devoted to producing Doritos.
¿Qué es esto?
The audio of the different lines.
¿Me has sanado completamente?
Thank you. That'd be hard to integrate, so I'm just gonna read your notes. I'll stumble through it the best I can. Miro nodded and smiled. He then flew out of the window that he came from. Up into the clouds he went until he reached the airship. On the flight back to the States, Ultramedico let Miro know that the president was about to deliver a live speech on TV. I want to hear what he says, Miro said as he pulled up a live stream which could automatically translate the language to English. The president sat at his presidential desk and a live feed turned on as millions of suffering Venezuelans tuned in. Un milagro acaba de suceder. Jesucristo vino a mí desde las nubes, extendió sus manos y me curó con sus poderes curativos. A miracle just happened. Jesus Christ flew to me from the clouds. He extended his hands and cured me with his powerful healing abilities. I've confirmed with the doctors that I am 100% diabetes-free, cancer-free, arthritis-free, and HIV-free. Today is the biggest miracle of our country, and maybe even the biggest miracle of all of modern history, he spoke. First name bunch number says, just replace your hyperinflated currency with one that literally everybody can grow themselves. I'm a master economist. Lily Love Stuff says, there are U.S. military bases in Panama. That means nothing, but if he speaks Spanish, my theory is Peter doesn't know how to install keyboards on his computer, so he can't add the accents. He thinks this was a religious event and that I'm Jesus Christ, Miro said to Ultramedico. If that is what he needs to believe, then let it be so. This country needs hope, healing, and a strong leader that will bring it to prosperity, Ultramedico advised. I guess you're right, Miro agreed. The president continued. Jesus told me that cannabis will save our country. He told me to use it as medicine to heal all of you and to use other products that it produces to build our economy back up. He promised to me that if we used cannabis to its fullest potential, that we would go from the worst economy in the world to having one of the best economies on the planet. I promised him that I would fulfill this wish. Today, we're starting over. Today, we will create a brand new government from scratch. The first and most important law of the government is that there are no longer any laws about cannabis, and there will never be any laws on cannabis ever again. Everyone will be given free cannabis seed. Like, no laws? Can 3-year-olds be forced to take cannabis? Like, no laws is pretty broad. Everyone will be given free cannabis seeds, subsidized by the government, and plenty of land so that you can all grow cannabis. This plant will provide our medicine, healthy hemp seed food, clothing and shelter. Together with my new health and this plant, we will make Venezuela great again. He finished his speech. Oh, God. Miro wasn't sure if he was just hearing things, but he swore he could hear the entire country of Venezuela cheering from his ship. A new age has arrived, Miro and Ultramedico synchronistically said at the same time. I am the greatest healer in all of history, he realized. Miro suddenly felt the greatest feeling he had ever felt, a feeling of accomplishment where he knew he had just changed the course of history forever. He smiled widely. This must be heaven, he thought. The twist ending is that he actually did die earlier. This is just what heaven is to him, a world where he gets to be in charge. Xenon Exemer, thanks for 23 months. Ultramedico, I have a question. Yes, boss? If my chances of success were so low and I died, what are the chances that I died, stayed dead, went to heaven, and now I'm living in a parallel reality called heaven where I actually won? Oh shit, I was joking. Is this real? You didn't die and go to heaven. I know that for a fact because the DEA still exists. Would the DEA still exist in heaven? Good point. Well, what are we going to do about all the crazies that work there? Honestly, the people that work there are either psychopathic murderers or unbelievably brainwashed with severe mental disorders. Ironic Peter saying that about anyone. So how about we kidnap all of them, keep them at one of our hospitals, introduce them to healthy food and medicine, and then reprogram them in becoming cannabis activists? Good idea, boss. That way we can start to... Oh, he's literally gonna kidnap and brainwash people with drugs. He's gonna drug them up and then brainwash them. Yeah, Peter is doing re-education camps now. Great. Good idea, boss. That way they can start to make up for all the millions of this death through points that they have scored. They can become cannabis activists and score CREA points. I suggest we chip them, though. If they try to escape or refuse to be cannabis activists, the chip could shock them. It's a minor punishment considering the millions that have been arrested, harmed, or killed because of that organization. Oh my god. Peter, you fucking psychotic piece of shit. Are you fucking crazy? You know this makes you sound like a goddamn fucking psycho, right? Like, this makes you sound like a fucking dystopian, like, Big Brother 1984 style fucking crazy dictator. He thinks this is the good ending. Holy shit. Great idea, let's do it. I can't wait for the day that the people at the DEA are all flying around the world educating the masses about how cannabis is the best medicine in the world. Miro spoke with excitement. So how do you feel like we have delivered justice for what they did to our family? Ultramedico asked. I don't know. What do you think, brother? Miro asked Timmy. You're replacing all destruction with destructive, violent police officers with CREA bots. There's no longer any form of terrorism in the United States. You disintegrated the NSA. You are healing every American for free with medical cannabis. Now you're about to turn the Drug Enforcement Agency into a cannabis activist organization. Yeah, I would say justice is being served and will continue being served at this point, Timmy replied. They flew back to their home in the woods. The CREA bots hunted down animals in the forest for them. They were served fresh fruits and vegetables from their greenhouse. Their safe and healthy environment improved their health more every day. The United States became paradisiacal as Miro's CREA bots took charge of fixing the country. Again, dictatorship. After a while, Miro had experienced such an easy and happy life that he began to forget his life used to have problems. Thanks to his intelligence and bravery, his life and the lives of everyone in the United States and around the world became as close to perfect as it could be. The end. Steve with the Q says, and everybody clapped! I said everyone clap! Thank you, Baja. So that was Peter's book. I love you too. So that's Peter's book. He has another one. Should we read the other one? Just saying. Is that a threat? Yeah. Is it the same universe? I think it is. I think it's, yeah, Cannabis Paradise. I think it's like what the paradise is. I think he actually wrote Cannabis Paradise first, and this was a prequel to Cannabis Paradise. So we read the prequel first. We cheated a little. I'm so glad that we were able to get through all of that. Holy crap. This is when he did an interview on the other book, Cannabis Paradise.
I always want to find out like what's the real truth about this plant, because I felt like a lot of people are lying about it. Once you get to a certain point of research and you learn a certain amount about cannabis, you kind of want to tell people all about it. So I decided that I would help people learn and try to do it in a fun way. So I ended up writing a book that hopefully is fun to read and also is educational, and I packed it in with what I believe to be the most advanced science on medical cannabis. So I wanted to do something that couldn't be replicated on the internet. You know, you can find information about cannabis on the internet, but can you be entertained through a story while you learn about the plant? So I felt like this was something different that wasn't out there yet. I really do think that the more people start using cannabis to its fullest potential, the more like utopian that specific society will become. My book is called Cannabis.
Chromatic Cuttlefish says Peter's book is a little like smashing your own fingers with a brick. It's nice when you can stop. Tea with Goblin says we've been spending streaming life reading Peter's. Oh, we've been spending streaming life reading Peter's Ganja Paradise. Okay.
This paradise because I kind of try to imagine a society that did use it to its fullest potential, and then.
Can I give a book review? Yeah, sure. Awful? Funny, but it wasn't meant to be funny. At least not most of it. Bad prose, riddled with errors, needed an edit. The plot is nonsensical. The factual information about medicine and weed is completely incorrect. It's filled with basically delusions of grandeur and a weird openness about wanting to be an authoritarian ruler of the world and open, like, re-education camps. Kind of fucked up. So yeah, it's not great. Wouldn't recommend it. 1 out of 5.
Kind of, let the user decide, is that cannabis paradise or is that paradise or not? The subtitle of my book is Cognitive Dissonance, which is, for me, one of the most fascinating parts of the book. Cognitive dissonance is kind of like, when your belief systems are kind of fighting each other. When people hear that cannabis cures cancer, all these thoughts go on in your head like, well, then why aren't doctors using it? Or why aren't the cancer associations admitting it? Or why aren't oncologists promoting it? All of those beliefs that contradict the statement that cannabis cures
0 stars out of 5 would not smoke. I wouldn't give it a 0. I've read 0 books. This wasn't a 0. This was a 1. This is a 1 out of 5.
cancer. I find that fascinating. And I really hope that my book can...
If a book is, like, readable, I at least give it a 1. Like, it's not good, but I understood it. I have read 0 books. Jilly Juice's book is a 0 book. The woman who played Lisa Turtle or whatever her name was on Saved by the Bell, she wrote a book. That's nonsense that it's impossible to read.
And debunk all these beliefs and say, like, okay, yeah, oncologists are not recommending it, but it's because of money, or, they're not, the government hasn't admitted that cannabis cures cancer, but that's because pharmaceutical industry controls and lobbies the government.
Is it worse than Empress Teresa? Do I have my copy of that lying around? I have a copy of Empress Teresa somewhere. It's better than Empress Teresa. It's shorter, though, too, so it's hard to say.
So I try to explain, all these things so that when people hear cannabis cures cancer, they're not like, oh, that's impossible because it'd be all over the news. It is possible, but it's being suppressed. I mainly focused on the medical properties because I wanted that to be the highlight of the book. Because I think that when you talk about cannabis, the medical properties is the real, like, feature that most people should be focused on the most. I definitely wanted to make people realize that the government has made a really big mistake with making cannabis illegal, and that, they've done a lot of people harm.
What about Meghan McCain's book?
And I wanted to make that crystal clear because sometimes what really motivates a revolution and motivates people to do something is emotion. So I definitely wanted to stir up emotions. The U.S. government, they're basically going from, we've said it's not medical for, 80 years or more, and now...
Okay, I'm good with Peter's bullshit. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Alright, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Friday. No, probably tomorrow, because the day off I'm taking this week is going to be Sunday, because we have the beach things this Sunday. Okay, cool. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Where'd the button go? Oh. It'd help if I actually started the raid, huh? No, I gotta wait 10 seconds. Yeah, my throat's fucking killing me, so I gotta go rest. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.